the ask was made of us that apparently there's stuff happening in the industry.
Right.
Some goings on behind the scenes that have created friction.
Right.
And so guy came on with us and said, "Hey man, can I get some time to talk about what's going on?" So
Clear the air.
absolutely, that's what Vape Radio is here for, to talk these things out.
Right. Absolutely.
So Khristopher DeGiulio, am I pronouncing that right?
It's DeGiulio.
DeGiulio.
It's actually Dorn-DeGiulio. My name is hyphenated.
Gotcha.
Right,
okay, gotcha. Well, either way, Khristopher.
Because of past doings.
There you go. Well, here you are on Vape Radio. What is
First of all,
let's talk about who you are, what you do.
We know, but maybe
right,
some of our
we've
listeners
met you
don't.
before, but a lot of people may not know you. Now, let's go back to first of all, I believe you and correct me if I'm wrong. Your now ex-wife had an e-liquid company, or maybe she does. You don't. I don't know.
Yeah, where did it all
start?
start?
I'm not affiliated with any e-juice company.
Okay.
Never have been.
Yeah,
never will.
Okay, gotcha.
I haven't claimed that part.
Okay, gotcha.
Nope.
Okay, but so like you've been around the industry.
You tell us the story.
And you got into doing cloud comps and stuff, right?
Right. And we developed, myself and 6 other people, we came up with a theory and a thought, and we decided to run with it. We initially got blessings from an individual who was trying to start the same thing up. It didn't work. And we had the videos and all the live videos of, him saying it's a good thing and yada, yada, yada. But we also, and he said, well, it's a hell of a task to take on, being the state of the industry and things like that. And that's why he stopped doing it. We started throwing comps. We started sanctioning comps. It was basically just all we were was a way of telling shops and talking to shops and sponsors, i.e. juice companies, mod companies, hey, let's put you guys in more shops. Let's get you more exposure. Let's try to do this with a badge. The badge was just a little shield that said CCSL sanctioned comp.
Okay,
right?
and what is it? And
People
tell them
were
what that
going-
stands for.
What does CCSL stand for?
It stands for Competition Cloud Sports League. What we did is I bought a business license for this. We trademarked the words. We tried to trademark all 4 words, but however, the way the trademarking system works, because of the words competition and league are so relevant and proper within, the U.S., you can't take words that are so generalized. So they granted us permission to use Cloud Sports.
Okay.
Is what the finalized trademark is for.
Okay.
What we did then is it promoted people going to shops, because if you think about it, without the shops, there's no product to be sold, right? And without no product to be sold, there's nothing for the consumer to buy. So if we got more people going back into shops and being more involved with their local shops, because shop owners actually are what drives this industry as well. It's not just the manufacturers, because without the shops, the manufacturers really don't have a place to sell.
Right.
Yes, you can sell online, but the shops are a place where everybody's supposed to go hang out and have a good time.
Okay, so you created this league, Cloud Comp, Sports League, and then you would go to shops and do cloud comps, etc. Okay.
We would set it up to where I didn't have to be there personally. At first I went to a lot of them, and this is just over a year ago. And once we grew, that's when we decided to allow companies to be involved, i.e. manufacturers. We did roughly 79 comps over a 6-month period or an 8-month period. Actually, it was about 6 months.
Okay.
All over the U.S., the UK. We had a couple in Canada. We had 3 in Hawaii. What it was is it just allowed everybody to be a piece of it. This wasn't a king of the hill, I'm the bomb, I'm this, I'm that. It was all of us together trying to do something together, which was supposed to be, it was fun. It still can be.
Okay.
All right. Well, where did things go awry?
Right. Where did the drama come in?
Where are we at? Where did what got us to where we are today? You give us your story.
What got us where we are today is yes, sir. Pardon?
I said, yeah. Just give us your story. Where we are today.
Okay. What it was is that there's certain individuals who still wanted to be a part of it. They weren't allowed to be a part of it because there was too much drama involved. And I'm not going to name names. People know who they are. However, what happened is that it's 5 or 6 people turned into a we should have it thing. And instead of doing it the right way, where it's like, let us do our thing. We had 893 people. They signed a document to compete. They get points every time. But what it comes down to is just let people who are doing something right have some fun with it. It's not a big deal. It's not about who's on top, whose name's attached to what. And that's what it turned into. So that's where all these battles started. I mean, we had Purge involved. We had Armageddon involved. We had Switch Mods involved. We had Vape of the Aloha, Detroit Rock Candy. All these companies, are getting involved in this and promoting it. Vape Tasia wasn't a paid sponsor, but they supported every single comp. everybody was having a good time. But the problem is you have these people who still feel like if it's not theirs because they did it 2 and 3 and 4 years ago, but stopped doing it for the most part and not on as big of a scale, that it should go back to them. Okay. Well, I stood my ground. A couple times I got feisty, not physically, but just verbally, to where I was defending what we were doing and trying to explain this. And I spoke with you about this before, Rod.
Right.
So where it's like, just let it have fun. Let it be what it is. It doesn't need to turn into a fight. It doesn't need to turn into, I say, dick swinging contest and not get in trouble.
Go ahead.
People are wanting to do these things on their own. And it's just have fun. The comps, almost all the comps are actually run and done by their own people. All we do is give a badge for it so that people can actually go and know that they're going to get points. Because with us, instead of making it about all-stars, right, people who are known for winning, we want everybody to blow a cloud. I don't care if you just started vaping yesterday. Come in and have some fun. You don't have to blow these expensive tubes, you know what I mean, and blow these big clouds. Come in and just get involved in the camaraderie, everything involved together.
Okay.
Because you're going to get points for every round you compete. Yes, sir?
No, I don't think anybody would begrudge having cloud comps and people getting together and vaping and having fun. But in my experience, usually these things revolve somehow around money. So how did that had to be some component of it? How did money get involved, or how did that become an issue with with these other people?
So what happened is after
did people pay for the badge or something like that, or to pay to be a part of it to get the points, or?
No, actually, the people who play, the athletes as we call them, they would go to comps. They'd pay $10 a person for the comp to actually compete in each class. They had the chance of winning that money back. The CCSL never took any of that money. They were actually basically paying to compete is what they were doing, and they would win that money accordingly.
So the shops that were having the comps would put that $10 into the pot that was being won.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Every single comp. Now, and it was kind of cool because that allows it to where the shops aren't necessarily responsible for throwing these big comps. That's where we got it to where we had roughly 30 companies that endorsed the league. Not all of them were paid sponsors of the league.
Right.
But we still back them because when you have companies that want to be involved, they just don't have the money, or they just want to try it out to see if it works. That's what we did. So when it comes down to the money that you're speaking of, the CCSL got together with 6 mod companies, okay? We did one massive Zoom call, the live video phone calls.
Sure.
Excuse me. We did the live phone call, and I got everybody on there. I disclosed who I am, what I am, for those who didn't necessarily know me. I disclosed the fact that I did have a past from before, which is anywhere from 25 years ago to 6 years ago, or 2005.
And what does that mean? What does that mean? A past?
I had a criminal background. I had a criminal background in my past.
Okay.
It was, and I did some checks, had some issues. I was on a boat that was allegedly reported stolen in 2005. That's one people are biting on right now. And I talked with Ron about this. All the manufacturers who got involved in this knew every single bit of that. I never hid it, never lied about it. And to be honest, if we look at the industry as a whole, it sounds really bad. But I will say it, a lot of mod companies and juice companies and coil companies, whoever it is companies, it's hard to find somebody who doesn't have some kind of flaw in their past. Not necessarily guaranteed, but most companies have somebody, whether you're an owner, whether you work for them. It's not a judgmental industry, but it's a focus on me just because certain people don't like what we're doing and we won't give it to them because they feel it should be theirs. That's what created a lot of issues. So what we did is we brought these manufacturers in. We got them all on one call. We disclosed everything. At that point in time, I also said on the call, do any of you guys have something you want to say about each other? Because we know how companies tend to talk.
Right.
It was crickets. Not one person said anything bad. The only thing that a couple companies said was, let's play along, let's get along. I'm talking about Matt Kleisel, John Conrad, Ariel Paxson. Lindsey Hunziker was on the call. We had a representative from HD&E at the time. We had John Green from Switch Mods. Dylan Votman, Broadside, was on the call. We had everybody there. And then after that, we decided, okay, so what's it worth for the CCSL to thrive? Well, to me, creating a web page, creating a clothing line, doing things like that was going to cost money. But what they were going to get out of it was exposure to 70-plus shops for the season that they could all call together and try to – we basically were establishing a Rolodex for people to be able to call and get their products in. We took away a lot of the cold calling aspect because we gave them a list to work with. Well, certain teams paid so much. Some people paid X amount of dollars. Some couldn't afford to pay it all. So I allowed everybody to be a part of it. But what's going around now is that I supposedly took – raised $30,000, which isn't even close. That we took money and spent it on things that we didn't spend it on. That's not true because we still have money. But it's like everybody seems to be – it's that whole word of mouth thing that really sucks. But the only thing they're doing is they're attacking me. And it's the same groups that typically attack other companies. Yes, sir?
Well, that's why we want to give you the opportunity, exactly, to come on and clear the air. I mean, because, when you have Vape Fam, the thing to do is to sit everybody down and let's get to the bottom of it. I mean, do you care to say how much you did raise with this? I mean, you don't have to, obviously, but I'm just asking. And where did those funds go?
We took in under $14,000.
Okay. And where did those funds end up going?
I mean, did they go for, like, shirts or promotional items or –
Honestly, the money, we still have quite a bit of the money. It went to finally the shirts. I just tried to get a shirt company to work with us. I got burned in the beginning. I lost about $1,200, which is my fault because I went to the wrong company. However, when I first put out that we were going to put shirts out, some people wanted them. Honestly, we sold 10 shirts out of hundreds that wanted them. So I stalled the order because I'm not going to make 150 to 200 shirts because we had 800 people in the league. I'm not going to pre-order a bunch of shirts that are going to cost, $14-15, and then I had to put patches on them that were going to make us. We were going to break even more or less. I was going to think that CCSL was only going to make about $1.50 on each
Well, I would
shirt.
see that as a promotional thing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm obviously not part of your business, but I know from my experience with running, whether it be Vape Radio or other companies in the e-liquid manufacturing I've worked with. I mean, when we do typically, like say Vape Radio, we're getting ready to come out with new shirts, and they're a promotional thing, and there's sponsors there, and they put that money. But those shirts aren't to be sold because nobody's going to buy a bunch of those. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not a money making thing. It's a promotional thing. Did you expected to sell those shirts and then make a profit with that, and it just didn't work out, is what you're saying, and that they didn't sell.
What we were doing is we were going to use the shirts. Well, what we were going to do is use the shirt sales to actually buy bigger venues so we could do a larger event and buy into those. And that was completely disclosed. It wasn't to where we were trying to use those to fund some kind of thing. No, we were using the shirts to fund for a one-off event, for prizes for the end of the season, for bigger prizes for the winner. In other words, be able to give the winner or take somebody to Vegas at the end and do a bigger comp. The funds were actually going to be appropriated. Problem is nothing's sold.
Right. And
everybody wanted them.
And to go to, you were going to take them to Vegas?
All the manufacturers together.
So you were going to take the winning team?
We were thinking of doing a big finale. Yeah, we were looking for a big money pot comp in Vegas is what we were trying to do. However, this was come up by, it wasn't just myself. This is all the companies that were involved at the time sat down and said, hey, I said, look, we can find ways of generating money and raising money for the league so that we can afford to do these bigger things for the community and give back. Every single company agreed to it. It's not like I just said, hey, look, no, let's do this to make money. That's not the way it works. That's not the way the community works.
Right.
And I understand that.
Okay.
And this is where, like I said, now in the end, they're like, oh, well, you did this, but I've got companies who are complaining that we didn't produce. And I'm like, wait a minute, you didn't even pay, but yet you've landed new contracts with all these shops that are CCSL-related shops. It doesn't make sense why. It's like, but everybody else wants to see a league run by somebody else. So what I said was, fine, forget it. I said, if that's the case, because I am respected by quite a few people in this industry, or I do have respect, just like I respect them, is what I should say, is that, people are just trying to rally against us. But what are you rallying for? There's nothing, because you don't want me to be in charge of something that actually was working? You're trying to turn people against what we all built just because you want your name attached to it. That's not right.
Right. So
nobody's asked for proof of anything. Not one phone call has come to me from any of the people complaining. Everybody takes straight to social media.
Right.
And that's
the reason we're trying to get to the bottom of it and get that way it's not a bunch of people, everyone chiming in, giving, memes and gifts and things like that to distract from the conversation of getting down to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
I mean, right now I've seen that, okay, you've collected money for shirts, for sponsors and things like that. You're going to use the money from the shirts to take a winning team to Vegas. Where's the shirts? And if, do you have the shirts still? You still have the shirts?
Yeah, and I posted that I have the shirts. Now, granted, we are 6 months late coming out with them, but we finally do have them. Because I got Cali Stitches to step up, give us a good deal. We decided that platform was going to work. But in the meantime, I have a group of 6 other people with this league. Now, mind you, a lot of these people have regular jobs, just like I do as well. I work with another company.
All right.
And, everybody has this thing, but the problem is people just didn't necessarily have the time. And it made it hard. I agreed to shoulder almost everything, because I didn't want anyone to ever have any issues or get wrapped up into something because this industry can be brutal, no matter how you look at it. And I'm finding that out myself.
Okay,
but everybody was trying to do
so
something.
Basically, the issue there was we got the shirts, all right. So the shirts are now purchased, but yet now, of course, you would have to. So that means the winning team, if you still have the shirts, the winning team never made it to Vegas. So that fulfillment was never fulfilled on that.
Oh no, we didn't promise Vegas. We said that's what we were shooting for.
You were shooting for.
I didn't promise that anyone was going to Vegas.
All right.
No.
Okay.
I said that we were going to hopefully do that. We did do a pot for a company, the biggest team, or the team that did the well as a whole. This is an individual-based thing. I didn't want to push the teams, but I love the fact that certain companies want to come in with their teams, which would make it fun. But that kind of tore it up as well. There's certain flaws that happen with the individualized aspect of it to where people got scared when they started looking at point totals, because there's people who can actually go to comps every single weekend,
right?
And there's people who can't. In certain parts of the United States, I'm sure you both know, they don't do comps because they're just not relevant. And that's what we're trying to build. It just seems like every step we took over the last 4 months, ever since I spoke to Rod in Atlanta, was abuse. But it's like, what are you beating up?
Right.
You just want the name. You just want the league. You just want to – you're saying that you're not happy, but then why do you want what we have? Why not just
so who is it that is all you would say upset with you at this point right now? Would it be the companies that invested that
or these cloud blowers?
That are not invested.
It's people who are in the league and unhappy with it.
Where's it originating from? I know the echo can get loud where they're from different corners of the vape industry and the vape family.
Right.
But where is this originating from? The initial disgruntled person that set this match ablaze. What can you say? I know. You may not want to, but I'm just saying. But is it vendors? You can say generally, or what? Or
it was a manufacturer. It was a mod manufacturer who was in this industry and then backed out.
Okay.
And they do have a massive group page that's very well known. I don't want to cast stones again, because every time it seems I cast a stone.
No. We're trying to get to the bottom of it, so that way all parties involved we can get it understood and get it. Right. Get it cleared out, because sometimes that's what needs to happen.
And you have a lot of people like me in the industry who, I enjoy vaping. I enjoy vaping, but I don't do cloud comps. That's not my thing. So I'm ignorant of what has been occurring. So I need you to just paint the picture for me.
I'll do this right. I still have respect for this individual. It was Eric Hutchinson originally, and he runs the CCA, or he had the CCA. He's now sold the company, I believe, to Leon Gargolis. But he's the person I went to when I wanted to first start this league. I had the idea. I know he tried to do it. It didn't work, so he walked away from it.
Okay.
I went to his house. We did videos, and it did balance. But I had a different vision with the people that I was working with, which we decided was to make it about everybody, not just to make it about some big super tour, which is okay to do as well. But for us, it wasn't a good fit. I didn't believe at the time with the board members that we did have that if we just focused on the top 20, 30 people in the world, that it would create a buzz big enough to where everybody could be involved. That wasn't my thing. Now, he had that buzz because he did create an elite team, and that's what he did. He did great for the industry. He still does, for all I know. But my thing is that it's just all this turmoil gets created after the fact, because we wouldn't do this after you do all these Facebook Lives on the CCSL page of me. You say you didn't think we could do it. He told me from the beginning, he's like, you're going to get nailed for something eventually. He's like, that people just find it if they don't like what you're doing. But it ended up being his group. And it's sad, and I hit a wall. I'll be dead honest. I hit a wall about a week and a half ago. I found out some news that was certain things were supposed to transpire since the Cleveland show. And it was more or less going to be on a physical note. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have myself, my family, and other people, threatened. So I bit back. I bit back via text message to certain people who were involved. I'm not going to sit there and hide this or sugarcoat it. I was really upset.
Okay. So you showed your ass, basically. Basically, you did. You showed your ass.
Of course I did.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I did.
We've all done that before. No, I understand.
My thing is, so I put a post out, and I named 4 individuals, flat out. I named the people who were basically coming after me. Sorry to let the dog in. And I called them out on a post, and I said, look, I'm tired of all the BS. I'm tired of all the chimes. This is going to stop. So I named them, and then I named 3 manufacturers that I respect with some of their coworkers. And I said, look, November 19th, it's going to go down. I said, we're going to fix this. And I personally called out one person. And I said, I've got something for you. I said, me plus advocacy. which the point is in that post, which has been removed, but I still have a copy of it. The point of that was to say, if everybody wants to talk that much trash, let's come together on November 19th and let's hash this out. We will all get on a stage, which I was going to talk to you about, which if you understand what I'm saying, it'll make sense to you. I want everybody to get on one stage with one moderator and talk about advocacy, what you're doing, where we went wrong, and how we can all tie it back together. Okay. It brought the old school in with those who have only been involved for maybe 3 years. Right. It would balance. But what that turned into was, oh, my God, he's threatening us. He's calling us out. We're supposed to fight.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, it's spun. And then now I've got Mean John Green's thing. Said I was going to put hands on him, and I'm like, I actually know you really well. Why would I do that?
Yeah, I wouldn't advise that.
Yeah, I could advise against that very much.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Well, this is my whole point. I understand that, but my thing is, and I get it, but ultimately, nothing's guaranteed in life except for breathing and dying. That's it. But ultimately, in the end, it's about the fact that you take the social. You don't even call me and say, "Hey, bro, I heard you did this," or "I heard you did that." Right. Nobody calls each other. I call everybody. I called you guys saying, "Look, I even when we were
you did. You contacted us, and I agree.
It's just that I want this to get out. Have I made mistakes? You bet your sweet butt I have. Have I owned them? Yes. Did I own them until I told everybody the same thing I'm telling you guys now? On was it June 11th? I was catching some heat, and Matt Kleisel talked to me, and I was talking to Matt at the time. And we were close from business side and a personal side within reason.
That's Matt from Purge Mods.
Okay.
Matt Kleisel, yep. He's a good gentleman. So,
he is.
Because the Vaping Legion was attacking me, buying through some individuals who just had to bring my past up, which was already dealt with long ago, and I did the whole thing. I broke it down from 97, each charge, what I did with my life, what I've done with this company, where the money was going, what money was raised.
Is this where, let me interject, is this where Kid Rock comes in? I heard Kid Rock's name somehow was involved in this.
Yep.
Yeah, what happened with that?
I worked with a company. Oh, no, we could break it all down.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, go ahead. That way you don't have to follow up. Yeah.
Oh, no, you're good. I worked with the cell phone company. It was when I was still on parole. Can't get jobs in many places when you're a parolee. It just doesn't happen.
And what were you on parole for? The boat?
Well, at least where I was at the time, you couldn't do it.
Okay.
Pardon?
And what were you on parole for? The boat?
Yes.
Okay. And back up then. Just give us the cliff notes on that. You just took out a boat that didn't belong to you. Did you know the person that had it?
Okay. Yep, I know him very well. The gentleman whose boat we were on was Larry Ross. He won the big game in Michigan. He won $365 million. He was one of the first big winners of the lottery at that time. So we were sitting there, and I know his son very well.
Okay.
And we were doing some fun things back then. We were partying, having a good time. Well, his dad had the boat. I knew how to drive it. My parents had their boat there at the same time. Our boat was docked next to their boat. My father really has good money. It was a 56-foot Viking. So the day before Father's Day, we're sitting there talking, and we were supposed to I was supposed to go out with my parents, my father, because my parents are split, my mother, my stepmother, my stepfather, and my mom, and some friends.
Right.
Well, my father's boat wasn't working at the time. It had some issues. And his son, Larry Ross's son, came to me and said, why don't we just take my dad's boat? So I said, fine, let's go. So Father's Day morning at 8 a.m., because we had to go up the river about 46 miles, broad daylight, we take this boat out. We go up to Port Huron. We go to dinner. We're coming back to the boat from dinner, and there's a bunch of Coast Guard that's surrounding the boat. Well, I go up to the boat with my parents, and we're like, what's going on? They're like, are you on this boat? At that point in time, I said, yes. I said, I actually drove it up with said individual. And they're like, where is he? I was like, he should be here any minute, because he was standing around the corner. Well, he did come back around. And they're like, well, the boat's reported stolen. He's like, well, it's my dad's boat. Well, because at the time I was also on parole for something different. Actually, it was for – no, wait, hold on. No, I wasn't on parole. That's not true. I was not on parole at the time. Sorry. They turned around and they said, well, we have to arrest somebody for possession of stolen property. We didn't catch you on the boat, so we can't say you stole it, even though I told them I drove the boat up. Okay. If anyone looks, my charge from the beginning was attempt possession of stolen property valued at over $10,000. Well, in Michigan, if you do have a prior felony or 3 or more at that time, they can actually take that high-class misdemeanor and convert it into a felony, just like every other state. Because it shows priors for anything or even any kind of felonies. They can actually, I don't know what you'd say, advanced the charge to a lowercase felony.
Okay.
The vote was worth about $1.5 million. My bond was $500. I was bonded out of jail immediately. Obviously, that shows that the severity of it wasn't as big as people said, but it did hit the news because of what it was. I ended up pleading guilty eventually to that charge. They sentenced me to 1.5 years, which I did a total amount of time of, I think, 4 months in prison, and then I was out, and then I was back working.
Gotcha. So then you're working for the cell phone company, and
in Arizona, it was the Obama phones, and you have to qualify with either a EBT card or a food stamp card, or show that you're on some kind of state assistance.
Sure. All right, you know what? Hang on. Before we get into this, we need to stop and take a break.
Yep.
Can we come right back and you finish this up?
We got some sponsors we need to take care of so they don't get pissed off at us.
Yeah, but we do.
No.
Yeah, let's hold on for just 3 minutes, man.
I promise. I'll be quick.
There you go. We'll be right back on Vape Radio. More, and we'll find out how Kid Rock plays into this thing. All right, stick around. Vape Radio.
Warning: this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a Lamborghini?
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, eSnacks.com is giving you a chance to make that dream come true. That's right, eSnacks.com, home of Big Effin' Deal, Next Big Thing, and Big Dripper e-liquids with 120 starting at only $25. Just go to LamboGiveaway.com now and register for your chance to win. That's LAMBO Giveaway.com for a chance to win a Lambo and some awesome other prizes. And if that's not enough, they're offering 30% off your order with coupon code VAPE Radio. And if you buy 2 or more bottles, that's free shipping plus swag. Win a Lamborghini. Go to LamboGiveaway.com. Find out more at eSnacks.com.
Need a new all-day vape? Maybe the newest piece of hardware. Need DIY supplies? No matter what you're looking for, eLiquid.com has the largest selection of in-stock e-liquid hardware, replacement coils, DIY supplies, and more. With our selection of more than 12,000 brands and over 44,000 products in-house, your favorite e-liquid hardware and vape gear is in stock. Use our rewards program and cash in those points for additional savings. eLiquid.com is your one-stop shop for all of your vaping needs and ships fast and free with no minimum required.
Terms and conditions apply. Refer to our site to see if you're eligible for free shipping.
eLiquid.com. Vape simplified.
Bouncing Betty is conducting airdrops with her amazing 120 ml juice bomb. Enlist today and get bomb with one of Bouncing Betty's 5 unique flavors: tropical fruit, slushy, candy, sour, and ice. Sign up and serve today at BouncingBetty.com. Enlistment bonus this month includes discounts and free shipping. Hoorah! BouncingBetty.com now. Drop and give me a 120.
CrispyCaps.com has a new website introducing the Extra Crispy line. All in-house made acrylics that can't be found anywhere else. The best premium American-made drip tips starting at $7.99 with a lifetime guarantee. Get crispy, stay crispy. CrispyCaps.com.
Use promo code VAPE Radio for a special offer.
i-liquidusa.com, home of the best price premium e-liquids like Rainbow Sherbet, a combination of all your favorite sherbet flavors: orange, lemon, and lime. Pink Burst, a sweet strawberry taffy with just a hint of tart. Vanilla custard, 7 different vanillas all fused together to make this one heavenly vape. i-Liquid USA also has 3 CBD vapes: blue raspberry, lemon lime, and strawberry, coming in 3 strengths: 100 milligram, 250 milligram, and 500 milligram. They also have 1,000 milligram tincture. i-liquidusa.com. The best prices for premium e-liquids is now offering 30% off with promo code VAPE Radio. That's i-liquidusa.com. Get yours today.
I'm David Gerlitz, the former Winston man, and I helped Big Tobacco hook millions on harmful cigarettes. I publicly quit smoking in 1988. I would like to apologize to those who started and would like to help you quit smoking when and if you are ever ready. I have partnered with Vapes Gone Wild to formulate flavors to help make quitting easier. The David G Signature Collection can be found at vapesgonewild.com, and wholesale distribution is available.
Come hang with Vape Radio at Vapor Mania Expo, September 8th and 9th at the Sloan Convention Center in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and experience one of the best-run conventions of the year, featuring free admission for all, a huge cloud comp, an advocacy panel featuring Julie Wassner from CASA, and 6 different stores will win $2,000 in product from HS Wholesale and other sponsors. You must be present to register to win. Vapor Mania Expo, September 8th and 9th at the Sloan Convention Center in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Visit VaporManiaExpo.com for details. That's VaporManiaExpo.com.
Mach 1, sweet sound.
The Mach 1 is a dual battery squonk box from the United Society of Vape. It has a huge 8mm squonk bottle. And with its VO Tech 240-watt chipset, it fires smooth and ramps up fast. It comes with the Mach 2 RDA, and its super deep well even the heaviest squonkers won't be able to flood. With a customizable color display and sharp design, you won't need another squonk box in your collection. The Mach 1. Check it out today at usvofficial.com. That's usvofficial.com.
Back on Vape Radio, Pablo and the Rodman, and we go back to the phones. Talk with our guest. That would be DeGiulio.
Did you get it right?
Did I pronounce it right that time?
You could say Khristopher Dorn, because I'll get to that in a minute. Khristopher Dorn is what I was adopted with him. Well, actually, when I got adopted, that's what they switched to.
Gotcha.
I ended up hyphening my name once all the drama happened with me when I was younger.
Gotcha.
Because my parents thought it was a better way to help me get, not as much flack right off the bat.
Gotcha.
With certain people who
Didn't work out,
don't tend to understand it. Some people have records, so.
Gotcha. So back to what we were talking about. You were, explaining you had,
which was already clarified before.
Right. You were out on parole. You had gotten a job doing cell phones, doing the Obama cell phone thing.
Right.
And then
something
had happened. Somehow Kid Rock was involved in something.
So here's what happened. So I'm sitting there wearing a Kid Rock shirt at one point in time. And this is honestly not true. My hair was long at the time. And we were doing the phones, and people were giving us we were giving the phones, but what it is they present an address. At that point in time, because you get paid so much per phone, as long as their card matched an address, it didn't matter. So what happened is some people were you were only supposed to give out one phone per household. Well, on different days, people would come down. When you're giving away, 50 to 100 phones a day for people who, either homeless at a shelter or even just are low income or getting help from the state, you don't pay attention to everybody's address. Well, multiple addresses got put in for a couple houses, or for an apartment complex, which is where we posted up one day, myself and 3 other people, and we gave out phones. Well, their phones didn't activate because of the fact that the system picks up multiple phones in one address within a 25 to 30-day period.
Okay.
After that, somehow, some way, and I will stand by this, somebody went to a blog page, not the actual website, not the actual company of Top Dog Records, nowhere. It was a blog page, which anyone can start for any reason they want to without being busted. Okay. They posted it up on there. Not one time did I get called out for starting a charity by this group.
What did they post, though? That's what I don't know.
The post that is up supposedly states that I milked people for a charity. I took money. I did all sorts of things, and I was like, you can't take money for Obama phones. And number 2, I never raised money for a hospital, for some children's hospital. I never did any of that. They were just ticked off because their phones didn't get put on. I don't know how they even labeled me to working with him. That's my point. Now, at that instance.
So you never claimed to have any connection with Kid Rock or his record label or anything like that?
I do know him and his family. My father went to school, and I was raised around him.
Okay.
I was actually raised. Our families boated together. They still do. They still hang out together. I'm in Grosse Pointe. They live close by. They boated out of the same communities.
Gotcha.
His father did.
Okay.
So but the flip on it is somebody took that and ran with it. God knows how or why.
Gotcha.
Obviously the T-shirt, the hair, I have no clue. But I was never served with papers. If you do something like that related to a person who's got that kind of stature, to be honest with you, that is going to go public. And they will respond to you. They will bust you for doing something. Bands don't, and people
absolutely.
who are celebrities.
Well, and I just got someone just sent me a screenshot, I guess it was. I'm not sure.
Yep.
It looks like what I'm looking at. Looks like Kid Rock said this, that fraud and tusk.
No.
But, okay, I'm not even sure what I'm looking at. Explain that. What is that? I don't even know, because it's just someone sent just that.
It's a blog that somebody created it's a blog that someone created at one point in time. Because
it looks like Kid Rock is making a statement and saying your name, that you're a fraud and that you're using Top Dog Records, giving them a bad name. Yeah, and poisoning. Yeah, it's like, What is that? I don't even
Now,
know.
if that's the case,
Because we know we've met Kid Rock, Pablo and I. He's actually a really good dude, and actually helps a lot of charities.
He's actually a really cool person.
Right.
Yeah,
and
he and Matt are wonderful.
Yeah. So explain, give us that because I'm not sure what I'm even looking at there. Is that what you're talking about
What
that
do you
they
mean by
posted?
that? Okay, what it is? What's that?
Is that what they posted? Is that what you were referring to?
That's what somebody posted, and this is back in 2009 or 10. Okay. This is 9 or 10. That wasn't a post by him. That was an actual blog post. And if you look it up under .coms, or you actually look up Kid Rock fraud with somebody impersonating him, it'll say it's a blog post. It will actually say it's a blog post, not by the actual band or their management team or anybody.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? Nothing is actually it's a post, and if you post something on the internet nowadays, and even back then, once it's up, they do not take stuff down.
That is true.
I totally agree with you on that.
That is true.
That's
So that's where the Kid Rock mention comes from.
It removed. Right now, that being said, if you do something like that, legitimately, trust me, the management or somebody is going to come after you.
Oh, without a doubt.
They're not going to let something like that fly with their name. Guaranteed. There is no, the charges were dropped, or, we brought a suit and it was dropped. No. My name would be plastered everywhere by that band.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Trust me.
It didn't get posted.
The crew with Top Dog and Atlantic Records would have been up someone's ass, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm not hard to find. Trust me. They don't let things like that go. There would have been a statement by him. There would have been a statement by somebody. There's no statement everywhere because it didn't exist.
Gotcha.
It did not exist. Now, the Ripoff Report, those people filed because they didn't get their phones. Now, Ripoff Report is another Google-based company out of Arizona where I could actually file a report on you guys today that's completely wrong, and they'll let it stay because that's what they do.
Sure.
It's like the TMZ kind of fraud, supposedly.
Sure.
That went nowhere. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense.
All right.
Right.
So
Did I put myself in a bad position? Yep. But did I ever do something fraudulent with that? Absolutely not.
So now this has been brought up as part of all this cloud comp business. This has now been dug up from the past.
Okay, that makes sense.
Of course, done and brought up by Eric Hutchinson, put it all out there. Leon Gargolis, for whatever reason, he put stuff out. It's like, and I'm not blaming him for doing it, but Eric to constantly bring this stuff up, it's like, wait a minute. I was at your house with you 2 years ago talking about all of this and making it something legit. And then once we started doing it, you got upset. That's really messed up. It's not right. I did everything you said besides create an elite league or an elite status for people. I don't understand what the problem is.
It's
because it was our
something
thing,
that's
not
bothering
his.
me here. I just want to add real quick. How old are you, Chris? How old are you?
I'm 45 years old.
45, okay. All right, so you're our age then.
Yeah.
Okay, because Kid Rock is our age. So your dad went to school with him? I'm just having a hard...
No, my father went to school with his father.
Okay, because I was thinking, I'm like, Kid Rock's like our age. Like, is he
No,
that much younger
he's
than us?
47 years. No, actually, I think he's 40. I actually think he's 40. No, he's 49 or he's 49.
Yeah, okay.
He's
All
right
right.
behind
Anyway,
my
go ahead.
sister.
All right. I'm not, sorry, I didn't mean to distract you. I just knew in my mind, I'm going...
absolutely.
Wait a minute there. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
So how did this proceed further? Yeah, this gets brought up, and so now you got this cloud comp issue going on, and people are on you for these things.
It's a group of about 8 individuals, is what it is.
Okay.
Was TVL involved in this? Was there a reason why they backed out of it? Because
Marlo and Mahar. Now, at the time when I asked TVL to be involved, Marlo was not with TVL. He was doing I'm just gonna say he was not technically with TVL at the time. Mahar and I were talking a lot. Marlo was doing his thing, and him and his dad were doing whatever. I don't want to speak upon it because I can't say.
Right.
I just know at that time that's when Plan B was being created. I should leave it like that. I think that's the most political way to say it.
Okay.
Because I don't know the whole thing of what it entails. And then when it came down to being involved in the league, Marlo did we did talk. I spoke with Marlo. I spoke with Mahar on the phone. Since then, Mahar and I used to talk at least once a week. And everything was fine. Now,
real quick, when you had talked to Marlo, did he use a megaphone then? I'm just curious.
Right.
I'm just saying.
No.
Go ahead.
No,
Go
he did
ahead with
not.
your story.
But
I'm
I do know
sorry.
him of using.
Rod's got jokes.
I'm sorry.
No,
I have to
no,
make a
it's
joke
okay.
once in a while. Sorry. I love
Why
Mark.
not? Make it fun. No.
All right, go ahead.
But I don't want people to think that I'm trying to make a ruse of it.
No, go ahead.
He did voice his opinion that he liked it but didn't like it, but they did join in, and that was it. I went to TL. I was with HD&E Mods at the time. I was sponsored by them, and I went with TVL members to Wisconsin from Detroit. I went to 2 comps in Detroit with them at their TVL store. We brought their teams together. My birthday comp this year was held at their shop in Detroit. My 45th birthday comp, or 45th birthday, was celebrated at their shop.
Okay.
It was a comp. They put a huge flyer out for me. That was actually the first time that somebody actually made a comp about myself. And because whether I show up or whether somebody else shows up from the league, it's not about us. But they wanted to throw it and make it fun. And I thought it would be fun to actually do it too, because it was Mahar's idea. And to do it in Detroit, in basically where I was born, and get everybody together. It went fine. It went absolutely fine. And then as of about 2.5 months ago, 3 months ago, certain companies, there was the issue with what happened, unfortunately, to Armageddon and all of that. I aligned myself with Ariel because I back him. I back almost every company. Right. When Purge had issues with Hion, I backed them. I back Ariel, but as soon as I started doing that, I get attacks from these other companies, i.e. the Vaping Legion, who I know nothing about these people, besides what they supposedly do. And now I've looked into it a little more, which is okay. They're doing what they think is right and notifying people of things. Well, I get blindsided and start getting attacked by them. That's when the CCSL ultimately got attacked by the public, was when I started backing Ariel. Now, what Ariel does with his company, that's on him. Do I believe everything he says? Yep, because he's never lied to me. He's never treated me wrong. He's never looked me in the eye and lied about anything. I don't look for lies in people. If you got to look for deceit in people, you shouldn't be talking to them, ultimately. And I stand by that theory. But I started backing him. Well, as soon as I started backing him with everything he was going through and his company was going through, with the fraud and everything, I mean, I talked to that man when he was in tears in China going, dude, they cloned my company. When all that stuff came out when he was over in Shenzhen, that's awful. And he had a ton of people backing him. But ever since then, it's been it's almost like a smear campaign against somebody who wasn't in control of something somewhere when, he had his stuff with a distro over there at one point in time. I know that for sale, which a lot of companies do sell their products overseas. And the deal just went awry. But ultimately, in the end, it's just because I back him for what he supposedly did, it's ridiculous. And that man should not be out there like that. He did nothing wrong to anybody.
Gotcha.
I don't believe.
Okay, so you've got
because you own your own company.
So you've got a good relationship
Pardon?
with them. What about these other manufacturers like Purge and Switch? I mean, are they good
Purge,
with
I
you?
was
or
very close with. Well, Switch Mods and I were very close. They did not get involved in this. They got involved on a neutral basis, I should say. They came in. Me and John Green and I talked numerous times. I know that Switch had their own ideas of what they were doing. I don't know how that company works. That's between me and John Green and whoever owns the company. He did get involved with a juice company, came in with them for a sponsorship deal to back us. He still does his own series. He's emceed a couple comps that we were supposedly involved in, and that was it. But I want to state something really clear. The CCSL does not throw comp specific. It's almost like being gender specific. All we do is add our badge to a flyer, which allows the people there to get points to get ranked internationally in that, to be ranked worldwide. So it's showing that it doesn't matter if you win. If you compete, you still get points. You're still important. You're still relevant to everything. It gives you something. There's people in our league who did not podium a whole lot, and they're still in the top 20 out of 800 people, still in the top 50 or 100. It's about making everybody feel like they're important, because cloud chasing got at one point to where people would see certain people show up at a comp and they're like, I'm not competing because I'm not going to win, because you have certain people who are just that good. Okay. But if you don't get a chance to actually be that good yourself, you're not going to feel it.
Right. All right. Well, I got a question here for you. Somebody sent in, and they wanted to know. They said, ask him why he hasn't paid the manufacturer who won the CCSL. If you still have money, if the company still has money, why haven't you paid the manufacturer who won? And now, who would that be?
The manufacturer who won.
Who would that be?
It's okay. I can disclose that.
Yeah.
Purge Mods received 3,000 out of 4 because of the fact that there was some violations with the league at the time. with conduct and behavior and things like that. I've waited for a phone call from Matt Calizo, and I've received none. I've asked all these people who have an issue to call me. I did that as a company, and because we are a business, myself and some other entities in this company believe that we need to talk because certain things have happened that were a violation of the contracts that people signed.
Gotcha.
And we do have clearly stated rules that they help to write. So I'm not trying to screw over purposely anybody. I would not do that. But did they receive 3,000 of the 4? Absolutely. And they received it prior to their award ceremony that I could not make it to. I had some personal things happen. I was sick. I was running to the ground. I hit a wall because I was just so overwhelmed. And I did have a personal issue with a family member / friend who passed away. I was just emotionally bent. Now, granted, it was a week before that happened. I just hit a wall. But that Friday, I PayPal'd, or I didn't PayPal, the accountants PayPal'd over the $3,000 out of 4. And that is true. The money they did not receive was the money that they put into it.
All right. So
that is true. That is true.
So you've got people that are disgruntled with you, and you want to now. Where are we at today? Where are we at today as far as the league, the sports league? Where are you at, and as far as and what are you wanting to do?
What we're going to do is I am going to. I will say this much. I am going to. I've talked to a company who's willing to take the league, at least the competition side to it. I am not releasing the trademark yet because that's something that I believe needs to go to the right place. However, if this can be done the right way, I'm not trying to sell the league. I offered the league up for free to a company. I want to keep that quiet because I said I would. As soon as I did, within 3 hours, that offer of the league, and what I stated clearly was, and do you want me to read it really quick?
Yeah, sure.
Can I?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. The message I did send was, I got to pull it up. Sorry about that. It takes me like 2 seconds. I said to this company, sorry, it takes me so long. So I said to this company, I said, because at the time I wasn't aware that he wasn't paid, but I did find out, because I did talk to my accountant and some other board members before we decided not to pay the $1,000. I thought it was actually ultimately paid. I stepped away for like 2 weeks and didn't want anything. I wanted to come spend time with my family. I said, good morning. I said, rumor has it. Oh, no, that's not it. Sorry about that. Wrong one. I said, so the Legion wants me to step away. I didn't take any money illegally. I've spoken to all companies that made money and established new accounts and through the comps that we as a sanctioning body through. I said, that being said, I did make some mistakes and did not intentionally call anyone out, which is what that post was. I said, my message was to get these powerhouses to speak together about unity and work together. That being said, I'm offering the league and its systems to you, the owner of blank. I said, you have the ability and resources to complete what has been working. I will also give the pages, members, everything. It's still active, even though all the latest issues.
Okay.
Now, once I sent this to that person, that says nothing about selling, correct?
Right.
From what I've read you. I mean, I'll even send you guys a copy of it at this point in time. But it ended up on the Vaping Legion. And I'm like, wait a minute. If you're the only person I told besides 2 members who are involved in this board member-wise, they won't talk to anybody. They have no need to. And I know them very, very, very well. They're the ones who actually have stepped back because of everything that's gone on. And I spoke to them, and we collectively came up with who we thought it should be offered to, at least the cloud part of it, to keep it going. If that's the case, I have enough other stuff I can do to benefit the industry and benefit everybody else and benefit myself with my other job, right?
Right.
I figured, you know what, just for spite's sake, if these people want this company, then I'm going to let them have it. Because if it does fail and it doesn't do well, it'll be on them, and it sucks for me, and it sucks to watch it go downhill. But there's so much going on right now to where there's so much negativity focused around so many companies. So what I said is, fine, here, you can have it. Now, we have messaged and we have talked since then, and I said, hey, look, I said, I don't know what your thoughts are, but it seems that you've got a leak somewhere considering it's already on the Vaping Legion, and you're the only person I told. It doesn't make sense.
Well, I think what we've got here is a failure to communicate.
Some man you just can't reach. Well, let me ask you this. I mean, would you be open to talking to these people like right now if they called in?
I mean, I know.
Is that something you're willing to do?
I mean, I'm not going to, I don't want to be roasted necessarily, but I have.
No, we're going to keep it professional. This is a professional radio station, and we've treated you professionally with this, and we won't allow it if it goes there.
Well, here's the one thing. If someone can ask me something league-related and things we've done, yes. If they want to just keep bringing up my past, I mean, I've got records on almost everybody. It's not hard to get my attorneys went wild at one point, and I'm like, stop, because this is going to turn into a powder keg. Nobody's going to love anybody, and it's going to turn into a mess. I did exactly what Matt Clisel said, which I'm glad I did on June 10th or June 11th. I owned everything. If somebody wants to ask something relevant to the league and what happened, supposedly happened or didn't happen, I have no problem with it.
Okay, because you mentioned earlier that you were interested in, that you were interested in, maybe having everybody on stage to just hash these things out and get it all out in person. So I mean, we could kind of do that right now.
Yeah.
If you're willing to do that.
Yeah, because I know one person.
I just don't want to be roasted for something that we've all agreed.
We definitely we're going to, as we have treated you, we're going to treat you respectful and professional because that's what that's what we're here to do.
Absolutely.
I know that.
I'm here to try
if somebody had asked about the sponsors, saying that they had paid $3,000 for advertisement, but they got nothing back, and then another person, different person, said that you'd never that Matt, I guess Matt from Purge, I would take it that's who that is, said never received a call from you.
And if people want to call in, we ask that you be respectful. But
that's fine.
Yeah, the number is 888-VAPE-FAM. 888-VAPE-FAM. You can call in. Again, we try to keep this somewhat civil. We can discuss issues without being childish, but feel free to call in if you would like to chime in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's the question there about what was it? The sponsors said they paid $3,000 for advertisement that they never received. You want to address that? Because I'm not even sure what.
You want me to answer that now?
Yeah, if you can. That's a question that was sent over.
In the beginning, we had plain and simple. In the beginning, we had a bigger staff. Everybody was a volunteer, myself included. Okay. We had a staff. We had a group who said we were going to do certain things, i.e. a web page, an active web page. Yeah, the web page is actually registered as a domain. There's 4 things on it. There's the product, the articles area, and everything else. The person who was doing it had some things to take care of in their life, which is okay. But because so many other things were blowing up, like the weekly comps, I was doing it to where myself and a couple other people would talk to every shop to make sure they were right. They had the cameras. They could do the challenge brackets. It was just so overwhelming. Now, that being said, about a month and a half in, I did speak with some manufacturers who said they were going to help, which they did, and their teammates did. But at that time, every manufacturer who was supposedly upset also came around and said, we landed all these new contracts with shops that we didn't talk to prior to the CCSL. I'm not saying that we gave them shops, but they utilized the list of the shops that we had and we had thrown comps at. That's the shops that they were hitting up. That's the shops they were calling. At one point in time, to make an example, Armageddon and Purge wouldn't even send products out for sponsored events unless the person was a CCSL registered shop and it was a comp, which means that those are the shops they ended up selling to. And I'm in no way trying to start a fight over this. That wasn't the point of that statement. The statement is that, yes, we didn't get the webpage up. Yes, we didn't get the shirts out in time. But in the meantime, there was just so much stuff and so overwhelming. So what we decided to do was, for this coming season, because of that shortcoming, for the next season that was going to start, and this was discussed with some higher-ups with multiple companies, Purge, Armageddon, Avid Life, and a bunch of juice companies, nobody was going to pay for this season. We were going to take the remainder of what we have, put that towards real advertising for this season. I spoke with John Conrad. I've got text threads up the wazoo from talking with him. John Conrad was my connection there for the most part. Ariel Paxson. I have all the messages talking with him about what we were looking into. And we actually talked together one night to where it was myself, John Conrad, and Ariel Paxson from Armageddon. We talked at 1:30 in the morning till 3 in the morning, figuring out how to blow this thing up to where we could take control and actually control what we're doing and make it bigger for everybody, to where we could make it more of a media explosion. The problem is we focused more this season on the actual comps, which was allowing companies to actually call and make money off of selling juice to these shops.
Okay.
So they got their money back. Does that make sense? And they made more than just what they put in.
Okay.
So yes, we did have a shortcoming with that, and I admit to that. And they already knew.
How do you know that they made more than they put in? How do you know that as far as the analytics? I mean, do you have analytics?
Because companies have told me that they've landed at least 5 to 10 shops out of 70. If you land 10 shops out of 70 and you gave us $500, I'm pretty sure that 5 shops makes you more than $700 or even $500, let alone a mod company landing these newer shops. They're making their money back. And John Conrad actually was on a message thread or a Facebook feed where he commented that the CCSL has done great with bringing the community together. They've made more than enough on the return on investment in a message thread.
Okay.
And that was when we went live about 3 months ago talking about when we got attacked, stating that, hey, look, I know we've had some shortcomings. However, this is what we're trying to do to fix it. And John Conrad was on there in that thread in the comment section and stated that.
All right, well, I got a question here from a Vincent. He said that you screwed him over on a cloud comp in a tiny town, upstate New York, claimed to have a dozen sponsors, and everyone that he talked to said they were not affiliated with CCSL. What's your statement on that?
That is Vincent Provenzano, and he walked away from us due to issues with HD&E. So he decided, and I've got his message as well.
And what does HD&E mean for those who don't know?
Yeah, because I don't know.
I think it's Hutchinson Designs and Engineering.
Okay.
That was Eric Hutchinson's old company.
Oh, okay.
That's when Leon Gargola.
Yeah, we just want to be clear on what we're saying here. Okay.
Yep. But no, Vincent Provenzano backed out with all of the Northeast region stuff. He had a comp set up with us. He was about to have surgery as well, which I hope he's doing well. But Vincent turned around and backed out. And a lot of these companies, unless you were willing to take in samples from them, when they send them to you, they're not going to just sponsor comps.
Gotcha. All right, hang on, Chris. I believe we have somebody calling in. Hi, Vape Radio. Would you like to comment? Oh, are you there?
Hello?
Hello, Vape Radio. Would you like to comment? Are you there? I feel like Larry King. Is the caller there?
Bogota, Colombia.
Bogota.
You're on with Larry King.
Right?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Like, caller, are you there? If not, going once, going twice. Okay. So, all right, go ahead, Chris. Continue. Sorry.
No, but that's what it is. It's just I just can't understand why everybody's focusing on my past, but unfortunately, only those involved in the company are to know the financials of what's real. However, up until 2 months ago, things have been discussed tons of times. I do have message threads. I do have everything. I'm not one to just release threads by the droves because that just creates a media storm because someone's going to say, okay, now look what he's sending out. What else did he send out? I do have enough wits about myself to be wise of who I send things to. Plain and simple.
Right.
It's just like I messaged John Green when he put that post up, plain and simple. I put the post up and then I took it down. In his post, he said, stop messaging me. Do it here on the feed. No, because all it does is fuel a fire that doesn't need to be there. Call me. Talk to me. Be a person. Let's talk this through. If you're still mad after we talk, fine. Do your thing. But at least call before you go to blast somebody without relevance because now people are attacking him on his credibility, from Hawaii and all this other stuff. It doesn't need to happen. That's personal stuff. That's stuff that shouldn't be relevant anymore.
Right. Gotcha. We got another call here, Vape Radio. Are you there? Hello? Is the caller there? Caller, are you there? Is the caller there? Hello.
I think they're there.
Something weird is happening with our phone system here.
They're there. The phone lines are lit up. But.
Are you there, caller? Okay.
So are you trying to sell this company now? I mean, I know that was an issue. I think I read that.
No, it's not for sale. It's not for that. I've not talked about sale ever because how can you sell something that wasn't positive in money? How can you sell something that you weren't generating income from? It's illegal. That's fraud. That's a Ponzi.
That is true.
Okay. Because I think that was the impression that you had approached a couple of people, I guess. It appears that what I'm reading, that maybe you had tried to sell the company, is what they were saying. So, and that was that was it, is how could you sell something that's worth nothing if it doesn't have it, if it's in debt?
I'll actually, Rod, I tell you what, I'll send you the first, I can't do that because it names the person, then the anonymity's wrong. The message I sent, if the person wants to come live and say that I send it to them, they can, but I can't do that. And it is a well-known name. And they are involved in everything that's going on. However, I never once mentioned the word sell, ever.
All right.
Ever.
Gotcha. And we've got people trying to call in, and I apologize if we can't get to you if you're calling in.
Oh, I know. It's going to turn it.
Are the callers there?
Via certain companies.
Well, like I said, and that's why we're trying
problems conferencing the calls
to
together.
moderate and make sure that it's handled in a professional, respectful manner, and maybe can get down to the bottom of this. And what I'm seeing right now is, I guess basically where we are up is that you had a checker pass, things happen, I get that, but then now with running this cloud comp, now you've run into problems where you had sponsors, people pay for whether it be advertising or whatever, and they're feeling like maybe they didn't get their money's worth.
They are. Right. That's my point. Is who are they?
Well, I guess Purge would be one of them. I guess
that's the only company who called me. That's the only company who messaged me. That's it. I have not had a call from any other companies. In fact, I've spoken to roughly 25 companies who just said, "Keep us out of the drama. We just want to support the comps," and that's it.
All right. Well, let's take a break. Let's take a break and let's come back and let's get a resolution as far as how we can get this resolved, and let's figure out how to get that put back together when we come back after the break. All right?
We'll be right back. Vape Radio.
Take care of our sponsors before they get mad at us.
That's right.
Call Mean John Green to kick our ass.
That's right. We'll be right back. Vape Radio, vaperadio.com, and the Vape Radio free Android app.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Attention, Richmond, Virginia, and surrounding areas. Are you ready for the premier U.S. vape show, National Vape Expo? National Vape Expo, presented by Giant Vapes, is coming to the Greater Richmond Convention Center. Saturday, August 25th and Sunday, August 26th. National Vape Expo. Presented by Elysian Labs, Vapor Jerry's, TVL, Vape Guys, Dot Mod, Freshly, Pinnacle CBD, Vape News Magazine, and Vape Radio. National Vape Expo is the premier U.S. vape convention, and it's coming to Richmond, Virginia, August 25th and 26th. The Greater Richmond Convention Center. Advocacy, entertainment, education, fun, and everything you can imagine. This is the vape show you do not want to miss. National Vape Expo. Presented by Giant Vapes, with the Rodman from Vape Radio as your host. Make your plans now, August 25th and 26th. The Greater Richmond Convention Center. National Vape Expo. For more information and tickets, go to nationalvapeexpo.com.
ProhibitionJuiceCo.com.
We got a product the fellas gotta have.
Home of juice flavors so good your taste buds will thank you with every hit. White Lightning on ice, a frozen watermelon lemonade, riding shotgun, a golden cream cookie smothered in vanilla pudding, and Speakeasy, the award-winning root beer float. Visit ProhibitionJuiceCo.com and save 20% off your order right now with promo code VR20. Wholesalers, email ProhibitionJuiceCo@gmail.com. Prohibition Juice Company. Crazy 8 Vapor in Petal, Mississippi is having a cloud comp you don't want to miss. This Saturday night, July 28th. Registration starting at 7 p.m. Cloud and Trick comp starting at 8 with prizes including Mad Mod or Mini DNA box mods, Broadside Mech Mod kits, VGod Pro Mech kits, and thousands of dollars in free door prizes. Don't miss your chance to win awesome prizes at Crazy 8 Vapor in Petal, Mississippi this Saturday night.
Crazy 8 Vapor.
35 Bird Boulevard, Suite 1001 in Petal, Mississippi this Saturday night at Crazy 8 Vapor.
Tired of changing coils every other day because of overly sweetened e-liquids? Are you searching for the ultimate flavor that won't kill your coils? Cloud Chasers Apothecary has what you need. Every flavor from Cloud Chasers Apothecary is blended with the same mission. No added sweeteners for killer clouds, not killing coils. Go to ccapothecary.com for diverse and unique flavors true to their description that will please your palate and your coils. Killer clouds, not killing coils. ccapothecary.com.
I'm David Gerlitz, the former Winston man, and I helped Big Tobacco hook millions on harmful cigarettes. I publicly quit smoking in 1988. I would like to apologize to those who started and would like to help you quit smoking when and if you are ever ready. I have partnered with Vapes Gone Wild to formulate flavors to help make quitting easier. The David G Signature Collection can be found at vapesgonewild.com, and wholesale distribution is available.
Is your head spinning around with all the different e-liquid companies out there trying to figure out which one's really on top? How about Cream? That's right, creamvapor.com.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Time to muscle up. Cream features such amazing e-liquid brands as 485 Red, featuring strawberry hibiscus. Boardroom Vapor, an artisan line of tobacco flavors featuring a Jorn.
You're through to the next round, congratulations.
Which is an apple pie moonshine and all-in Favor, a pistachio butterscotch. And my personal favorite, Longboard, featuring orange cream and pineapple whip. And don't forget, Mum's Elixir featuring Kaleidoscope, a rainbow sherbet, and a great flavor you remember from your youth. Cream Vapor. Available at fine retailers, or you can purchase online at creamvapor.com. That's creamvapor.com. Also available at MrVapeUSA.com. Use promo code VAPERadio to receive a 20% discount. For wholesale and distribution inquiries, go to creamvapor.com. That's creamvapor.com.
We're back on Vape Radio. Pablo and the Rodman, the Cyclops Unchained morning show.
Yeah.
And, of course, talking about drama in the vape world.
Vape fam, drama.
Now, we've had Chris on talking about things that are going on and kind of giving his side of things.
Right.
We're going to go back to Chris here momentarily, but sadly we are having issues getting our phones to conference the way it's supposed to. Otherwise, we would just have everybody on at the same time. But we're having issues with that from a technical standpoint, so we're going to have to let some people come on, ask their questions, then we'll go back to Chris and let him respond to that. And, so here we go. Cameron, I believe, is on the line. Cameron, you there?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Doing good, man. And what was the comment and question that you wanted to ask?
I just wanted to ask Chris if the voicemail that he has recently sent me has anything incriminating in it. Because I haven't read it. I haven't listened to it. But everyone's about to. So I was wondering if he wanted to touch base on anything that might be in that message, if he wants to try to cover his butt like he did before.
Okay. All right. All right, well, cool. We will ask him that here momentarily. We'll let him respond to that. Thank you, Cameron.
All right, thanks.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. And another call, we had Eddie waiting to ask a question. Eddie, what did you want to ask Chris?
Hey, bud, this is Eddie from Texas. So my question to Chris is, you're sitting here supporting advocacy and all this kind of crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yet I've got screenshots of the messages that you sent Kyle calling his wife a whore, a cunt, saying that you're going to beat his ass. And then I seen the post that you took down about John Green saying you were going to whoop his ass. And when I chimed in and said, I'll put up a $3,000 pot and buy your venue to you come down and actually do this, that's when you delete everything and back out of it all. I mean, you're sitting here supposed to support advocacy, but you're causing way more harm in this community that, we grew so fast. And you're talking shit about Eric and all these other companies to cover your own ass, but realistically, man, everything that you posted on the internet yourself disproves everything that you're saying now.
Okay. All right, Eddie. Thank you. We'll have to go to Chris and let him reply. But thank you for your call. Thank you for chiming in.
Appreciate it, Bob.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and we'll go back to Chris here. Chris, all right, you heard the questions. What are your replies to those?
First one is Cam. I've known Cam since 2017 at ECC in Detroit. I was with HR. I had an AC&E mod that he liked at that point in time. He was with Slaughterhouse. Good guy. Yeah, we've had our ins and outs. We've had our arguments. We've left each other multiple messages throughout the last year, arguing and getting along. That's what brothers supposedly do. There is no message from the other day. This is plain and simple. People tend to copy and paste, number one. Number two, which was the same thing that was done to, I hate to bring this in, with Errol Paxson, with messages about his company to supposedly China, and then they took the messages and pasted them together to make certain things work. And that has been proven. It's the same companies doing this to me that did this to him and his company. And we didn't have any heat on the CCSL until the stuff happened back with the whole thing in Shenzhen. And that's when certain companies decided to pigeonhole against other companies. Now, with Cam, he also did win a comp, an online comp. Yes, I did promise him a mod. The mod I was supposed to give away at the time, unfortunately, wasn't Endeavor, and it was misfiring. I had spoken to him.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him numerous times since then, i.e. comps. I used to sanction comps for him when he asked to help build up Indiana. He went to a comp in Ohio and did a great job. The mod he did ask for ended up being, I think it was a Twisted King or something like that. It was a mod that was basically stopped running in Matte Black. We talked about this in Connecticut. I've talked to him numerous times since then, whether he wanted to be a part of the league or not. All the messages, I still have all the threads. I have all of them for the last year, from everything from before he got on Purge, since he got on Purge, with him and I talking back and forth. I'm not saying he slammed that brand in any way. However, you came and went. I've got the messages where you said you just wanted to win the league and then cash out. So I didn't give him a mod because it wasn't sold. He told me in messages that it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. He is supposed to get a trip from Vegas to me. However, when you sit there and you post on our page, after some things are said, you post on our page, and the post that was submitted stated, I am leaving the Cloud League. I am killing all my points. Number 2, you are now number 1. Now, myself and a couple admins looked at that post, and we figured, you know what? That's not going to look good if we post that because it's going to create some unwarranted drama potentially with everything going on. You're already saying you want to kill your points, which means you don't want to be involved at the league. Am I correct or not? I mean, do you guys understand that or no?
That in concept, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so I delete the post and I delete him from the league. He instantly takes to live, talks all this stuff, and it's like, wait a minute. We've worked together. You've come to expos with us. You've gotten into expos. I'm not saying by myself, but you've gotten into things buying through people that I know. You came and had a good time. We used to travel and run into each other and have a blast because he couldn't travel much because he had a lot of work and doing his thing. But you're going to sit there and stand on my neck when you're going against everything you said, for what it's worth. Now, I'm not bashing him in any way. I'm stating the facts. Yeah. Now, if it comes down to messages, he could post these messages. It didn't happen. And if the message was said, it was said a while back. And then I am going to stand by that because I'm not going to call somebody at 5 a.m. when I'm passed out in the house sleeping.
Gotcha. Okay, hang on one sec.
It's the same type of thing. Oh, yes, sir?
Yeah, we do have another call, so hang on one sec. Okay,
Chris? Take all the questions, and then we'll come back.
Hang on. All right. All right, let's go to that call. There we go. Yes. Hello, Vape Radio.
What's going on?
Who is this? Hello?
What's going on, Pablo? How y'all doing?
Mean John Green in the house.
Mean John Green.
So, all right, John Green, you were mentioned prominently in this earlier on. Your name was brought up. What do you say to this?
Hey, look, I'm not going to get back into this whole hearsay, back and forth stuff. There's a lot of things that have been said that I've listened to. And, I've seen the screenshots. I probably had 40, 50 people inbox me saying, this is what was said, this, here, and the other. So, obviously I blew it off at first because it's neither here nor there. But when it came persistent, I spoke, to a few people, and I don't do the whole name drop thing. I don't need to. But, when it comes down to just simplistics and just basic truth, look, I sat in on those calls. I never heard once of somebody's past. And, I don't know what going back and forth with having a lawyer look up everybody's past, but, you can look up mine. I'll give you my social. I've never been arrested for anything wrong or anything like that. I can stand by that. And what doesn't make a lot of sense to me is just the simple, it's always covering something up to move on to something else to cover it up. Just own up to it. Quit beating around the bush. You got a problem. Maybe it was a bad publicity stunt saying that, you wanted to box me or whatever hearsay or ignorant shit that would be. But
that is true. That is true. I would not want to fight you.
We even vouched for that. We were like, yeah, that's probably not a good
That's
idea.
a big dude.
I don't get it personally, but, as far as the CCSL goes, everybody knows, I backed it as an idea. I backed it as a solid idea. I pushed for it hard through Switch Mods, through Vape Aloha, through Gorilla Straps. And, for the overall idea of what it is, it made sense. It was good for the community. But obviously and clearly the person that's running it is just where the execution lacks. And now, granted, and to say things, 3-4 years ago and then it fell apart, no, that never happened. The people that have been doing this for the past 4 or 5 years, you guys know this. You did one of the first events I ever did in Florida.
Yeah.
Alongside with me.
Yeah.
I watched Pablo get his first vape set up.
Damn right. Damn right he did. Yeah.
So, and it's continued on throughout all southern states on my look of it. I've seen it grow everywhere. Now, yeah, it did die down a little bit here and there, and the CCSL as a whole, as an idea, helped that out. One person didn't make that happen. The companies in the industry backing the idea of what CCSL is what made that happen. Now, going in to show bias, you can't do. And we've all covered that, and we all know that. And there's certain things that, went awry and went south that shouldn't have happened that way. And it only falls on one person's shoulders. So you can't, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me, what's being said on his behalf. A lot of it's not true. I mean, I sat in on that same exact phone call that he said that he divulged all of his past or whatever bullshit scheme it is. I don't know. But hey, it just tell the truth. You got your ass handed to you verbally, physically, and not physically. But I mean, you can if you need to. But it needs to be shown that it's over with. You're done with. Go about your business. Go somewhere else, and quit trying to make this a thing when it's not going to be ever again. It is just the biggest point in all of this.
All right, cool. Mean John Green, thank you for checking in. We're going to get some other comments from folks, but have a great day, my brother.
Thank you, Brent.
All right. Let's get some more calls here. Hi, Vape Radio.
Yes, this is Justin Hockman. Am I on?
Yes, Justin, you are live on the air. Please turn your radio down if
I'm
you can.
The founder. Oh yeah, I don't even have it on right now. I shut it down. Okay. I'm the founder of the Lux Cup in upstate New York, one of the biggest cloud competitions on the East Coast.
Okay.
So I just want to just clarify where a lot of the upstate New York drama supposedly came from.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Please.
So the upstate drama. This is how the upstate drama happened. Because Khristopher called me and asked me if I wanted to be a part of CCSL because he didn't have a wire company on. So I was like, I'm not down to pay to be part of the CCSL. I already heard some stuff about it. I said, but I'll give him a shot. He wanted my event to be a CCSL sanctioned event. So the deal we worked out was, okay, I'll allow it to be a CCSL sanctioned event. I said, but my event is very organized. Right from the start, I take 6 months. I spend $3,000 to rent out a nightclub. There is no flaws.
Right.
So when I stated to Chris, all right, this is what I want from you. I want every one of your paid sponsors' logos. All right? Before I do anything about making an event, I said I want your logos. Right. So with this being said, I got a CCSL logo. I got a couple other little logos here and there, but a lot of the people already sponsored with me.
Right.
All right?
Okay.
So I called Chris. I was like, look, there's my exact words to him were, you're a little disorganized for me. So I'm going to remove this event I'm going to remove the CCSL from my event. I will host another one in October. If you get all your stuff together, I'll make my next event a CCSL event. But until you organize, until you get everybody who put $1 into your company, flyers, logos on them flyers, I don't want to be a part of it. So then he's like, okay, I understand. We're working on that, so on and so forth. Because I stated, I love this industry. I put this cloud comp on. I have every shop shut down in my whole area. You can't even go to a vape shop during my cloud comp. So with that being said, Chris said, okay, I understand. Then the next thing you know, I get a message saying, you better remove Detroit Rock Candy, you better remove Purge, you better remove TVL, you better remove all these companies off my flyer. Now, these are companies that I got on my own.
Right.
No, sorry, Detroit Rock Candy he did get.
Okay.
Right? So I told him, well, if you get these people to contact me and tell me to remove their logos from my flyers, I would gladly respect their wishes. So the guys from Purge contacted me. They said, we're only going to support an event that's sanctioned by the CCSL. I said, okay, then I'll remove your logo.
Okay.
Didn't get no other phone calls. I called Marlo from TVL. He said, who is this guy to tell me or tell you to remove my logo from your flyer? That just made Marlo come to the event. Right. Marlo flew in from California just to come to the Lux Cup. Now, a day before the Lux Cup, Purge contacted me. They're like, why aren't we on this flyer? I was like, because you asked me to remove your flyer because you and Chris talked and you're not going to support an event that's not a CCL sanctioned event. And they're like, no, we got to be on that flyer. They're like, we just don't know how to get you product. I said, man, I'm not worried about the product. What I'm worried about is trying to get everybody to come together, every mod manufacturer be in the same building without any bullshit or without any drama.
Right.
Right?
Right,
But
absolutely.
that's what my whole goal's been from the beginning.
Yeah, because,
All
you know,
right,
I mean, the
and-
drama doesn't help any of us in this industry good. That's one of the reasons why it's best to go, you know what, not have it all over. So we'll deal with it right here in the family, talk about it, and let's get this stuff resolved. So, I mean, I'm so glad you called in because, I mean, this is information that we basically need to work ourselves through.
So me and Ron been working on this event, Ron Perone. Me and Ron Perone have been working on this event for 3 years. So when I say that the CCSL was disorganized, it was disorganized. I told him, get your shit together. Oh, sorry, I'm on the radio.
That's okay. That's okay.
You're
That's
perfectly
together.
fine. No, you're fine.
Yeah.
To get your company together. First and foremost, before I get a CCSL logo, I want every sponsor who's a part of your thing on my flyer. I'll put mine around yours.
Gotcha.
I never got it, man.
Never
I
got
never got it.
So what do you think the
So
reason
when
was for that?
happened-
Why do you think that? What is your conclusion that you think that you did not get those?
Because he's just about himself.
You think he didn't have those
All
guys
he
signed
wanted
up?
to do was slap a C. Yeah, all he wanted to do was put a CCSL logo on every flyer he can get on, and that's all he cared about. He didn't care about his sponsors. He didn't care about the people. He didn't care enough to get the things that he said he was going to do for these people. I'm friends with a lot of them.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know,
Well,
I know that he was supposed to be part of an event put together from Alt Zero in California, and said that he was going to do some prize money with him and all this stuff because I'm friends with them, and said, oh, I can't make it, but posted up pictures at a cloud comp in Miami.
okay. Cool. Well, thank you. Let me get to some other calls so that we can then get his reply. Okay. Thank you for your call, bud.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Let's go here. Vape Radio. Vape Radio, are you there?
Yeah.
Hey, who's this?
Hello. Hey, it's Marlo with TVL.
Hey, Marlo.
What's up, buddy?
Marlo, what do you have to say on all this?
Well, first and foremost, I was just listening and, what Justin Hockman had said. But all this had started when Chris contacted Justin and said, hey, remove TVL logos and other companies from the flyer. And that's when I said, hey, you know what? Nobody has no right to tell me to remove my logos from any flyer.
All right.
First and foremost. We paid our sponsorship fees. We were promised so many things. It is what it is.
Right.
But nothing was delivered. It's not the first vape comp company that's done this. It won't be the last.
Right. Right. That's true.
That is a valid point.
I've been around for a long time. I've been doing this since 2012. Makes it almost 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
what would you
I've seen
like Chris to address specifically?
Yeah. What do you think he should do?
I think what Chris should do is just it needs to have the beauty is of the cloud comps is people go out there to have fun,
right? Not
to be regulated and do this. Don't get me wrong. Every cloud comp has biased judges. I compete. I blow clouds.
Right.
There's been multiple times because of the fact that I'm TVL or because my sponsored guys are TVL. A lot of companies don't like them. And because of the fact that they're TVL, it's like an automatic loss for them. Even if they blow a bigger cloud, it is what it is. I'm not the one judging it. It's other people. But, I tell my guys, hey, stay strong. This is going to happen, but we're better than that.
Gotcha. All right,
we don't
Marlo.
have any problems with it.
So what would you like to see maybe Chris do to, in your eyes, put things right?
Yeah, make things right.
For him to make things right, he's probably got to, apologize to a lot of people. I get it. He's trying to start a business and try to do this, try to make some money or whatever his situation may be. I don't know. I'm not in his shoes.
Okay.
He's trying to bring people together. It's great. It's a great thing for the industry. We need that support. Yes.
Right.
All right.
But the way it was brought up and the way it was handled, he went wrong about it.
All right.
Gotcha.
If he didn't go through and say, speaking on, like, let's say Justin Hockman, the Lux Cup. And I've been sponsoring the Lux Cup for 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
And now because it's a CCSL event or whatever it is, you want to take my logos off? No, I'm not there to support the thing. I'm there to support the shops, support the people, the cloud chasers, the tricksters. We support all those people.
Gotcha.
And we do everything we can to keep the industry growing. Yes, when I go out to places and I go to shows and I get wild, sometimes I also raise money for advocacy.
Certainly.
It all depends on the venue and what they allowed me to do.
Gotcha.
A lot of people have told me, hey, your giveaway has got to stop. Well, some like it and some don't.
Gotcha.
And, I respect that. Everybody's got their own thing. But in order to do this right, it needs to be entertaining. It can't be biased.
Sure.
Everybody has to have fun. If you're not having fun, what's the point of even going?
There you go.
And more importantly, everybody's got to put a good face on for this industry,
Right.
And have some fun with it. So,
all right, Marlo, thank you for your comments.
Thank you,
we got to get back to Chris so
Tell
that
your
he
dad I
can
said hi.
address some of these. And yes, let me just say, Marlo, thanks for calling. That's me using my megaphone. We got to have a joke in. We got to have a joke in where we can.
Hey, if you guys need me or anything, I don't know if you have my number or not.
Yeah, we
but
do.
you can feel free to call me back. You have my number, right?
Yes.
Absolutely, man.
All right, brother. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marlon.
All right, man. All right, we're going to go back to Chris, let him reply to some of these, and I know we have some people holding.
Yeah, because Chris
so
is
if
going to
you-
have to go.
Yeah, so if you call into 888-VAPE-FAM, you hear the messages, if you hear the sound, like you're on hold,
You're on
and
hold.
you start
We'll get to
hearing
you
the
in just a
station.
minute. Let's get to Chris real quick.
So let Chris finish up because he has somewhere he has to be, but I want to give him like one final opportunity to address these things and kind of come to some sort of conclusion. What you've heard all these comments, Chris. What is your response, and what do you see that you're going to do in the future that can hopefully maybe mend these bridges or not? Or you tell us.
What it comes down to is yes, we didn't fulfill everything. We did contact people halfway through saying, we did have some structural issues. And I will take credit for the whole thing for that. I will not put people who worked with us under blast. Did certain companies, jump in to help? Absolutely. With regards to Marlo, he's right. I did say that, but I was also protecting every company because of the contracts we had written. If you were a part of the CCSL, we would defend you towards something that we didn't know whether it was going to be biased or not biased. I'm not saying Justin Hockman's events are. Did I receive messages from that event? Of course. I received messages from everybody's event saying something's not necessarily right. However, Justin and I did talk, but he had some people working with him who prior to were working with us, and we had some structural issues because I was no longer with HD&E. So our name was being trashed by said group because they believe, and they did run a great series. All we did with our logo was allow it was a badge. Okay, that badge, that sanctioning badge, just told people that were at that event. So it's not a CCSL event. We don't tell people to say that. No one can ever say to announce that I sent them something or one of my board members or one of our admins sent them something saying you have to say this is a CCSL event. You don't. You put a little shield somewhere on that thing so that people showing up know that comp, they're going to get points for the CCSL, league, which is the only league that can offer or has offered a world ranking system. That's all it stated. And I think that's where we have miscommunication. Now, with regards to that, at that point in time, I was talking with Mahar more than I was talking with Marlo. And I explained it to Marlo, what I did. And unfortunately, it was the wrong move. Marlo said, hold on, let me look into it. He looked into it, he fixed it, and that was it. Multiple companies did call who were affiliated with us and asked me to remove because it wasn't going to be that comp, and that's okay. That's okay. It's understandable because a lot of companies did go up, but in the end, Justin and I came to terms, and we did balance out. I'm being hit up by Brian Roy. Yes, I did promise Brian Roy's company exposure because everyone was supposed to get access to our list because we couldn't get things done fast enough. Brian Roy is with Johnny Copper. Yes, we made promises to Johnny Copper like we did everybody that we would have a web page. We would get them better exposure. But the thing is we can only do so much. We made some flaws and overpromised. That's why this season it wasn't going to be as harsh of a deal. Brian, we did bring on, he was going to be an MC. I worked a deal with him and one of his other cohorts to where they were going to help us with some media stuff. Every company has growing pains. We just grew way too fast is what it was. Now, certain events I did broadcast as a CCSL event because I was going to be there. So I need to correct myself on that stance. And being that it was a CCSL event, meaning that I was going to come into town, I was going to meet and greet with people, talk with people, explain to them what we were doing. Avid Life in the very beginning was the company who asked me to do it that way because when I do go to certain events, because I was the face of the company at the time, we also had, 5 other people who are known in the industry a part of this. Right. So did we overpromise? Yes. Did we underdeliver? Yes. But
so what are you going to do for this, for those people that happened to, the Purge mods, the
if
Broadside, Ronin comp mods? I mean, what about these guys? How are we going to? Hey,
Ronin actually just joined us last week, and I'm already talking with them. Broadside mods, they can contact me if they feel they didn't make anything on this or they didn't get any exposure. I know that for a fact. I did speak with iJoy. iJoy's involved. With regards to certain things with Broadside, everybody seemed to be happy, but nobody called me during the season saying, hey, we don't like this. And with the ones that are complaining now. And I shouldn't say no. Oreo, that's enough. Sorry, my dog's out. My sister's dog's out. But what it is that when companies called with issues, we address them and we fix them. I've been to multiple events with Dylan. Dylan was actually with us in Mobile, Alabama. Hold on.
Yeah.
And what we did there was, we had a massive comp. Dylan actually came in and judged and competed at that event. I think he signed someone to the team that night. He came in Blue Cloud. He never once said to me, hey, we're going to want our money back. We're not getting anything out of this. The deal was with the mod companies. When they came in, they wanted to have mod-based teams. Not everyone had a team at the time. Okay, with regards to John from Switch, he represented us to the best he could. Did we all have complaints on each other at some point in time? Yes. Did I actually call him out to where he could prove it? No, because it didn't happen that way. Not even close. And if I did say that, I do apologize. But for me personally, I know what I said that day. It was more or less about gathering people together because we keep getting attacked by people for something that's the money part of it. Yeah, that is relevant. But why wait until the very end to say something if you're really that unhappy? Because if that's the case, pull out during the season. We'll get you your money back. And we'll figure things out. So, or even try to fix it so you can get what you want out of this. Does that make sense?
So people who want their money back should contact you, and you'll work that out.
If they want to come back to me, and they can be legit, and they can be logical with it, to where they can say that they did not get anything from us that's even beneficial to them. I'm not saying you had to make $5,000 or get your money back, and I won't give it back. What I'm saying is, you're waiting until now when the season's already over, which your contract has been up for over a month. You're now coming after us at 3 and 4 weeks after the season ends.
Well, isn't that typically when a company will look back at their analytics and say, like, okay, did this work for us or did that not? I know with Vape Radio advertisers, I mean, we're able to show them that, and that's, it's kind of what they would look like 2 or 3 weeks out.
Right, but if we run this for 8 months and you don't talk to me anything bad about it the whole time, and we talk at venues and we see each other and we're having a good time, you're selling products, you're doing this, you're making contacts, you're saying, yeah, we're doing it, but team-wise it's not working. If it's something team-related, I can't help that. That wasn't what, I can't control what you do with your teams. And I'm not trying to backtrack in any way, but I am being honest when I say it's a 6 to 8 month long season. You'd know if you're making money off the shops that are involved with the CCSL comps. You would know that. Anyone who runs a good company and a solid company would know, hey, we're not getting anything out of this. Everyone was offered the opportunity to look at these lists, get these lists. They were sent to them. You know what I'm saying? So if you get something, half the companies would call me and say, hey, do you have an updated list? Yes, boom, here you go. People were in contact with people. It's not like we just started this and patted them on the ass saying best of luck.
Gotcha.
That's not the way this worked. And Rod, I had, Hoyt with me. You've known Hoyt for years. And Hoyt's been with us, and you talked to him about this as well when we were in Atlanta. People seem to be happy. Now, did they get all the mainstream exposure that they wanted to get? I can't give all the exposure. People have to expose themselves to get exposure too.
Right.
You know, it's frustrating.
Okay.
You know, now to fix it for the
honestly,
future, it is going to be passed along to a company. Yes, sir.
I honestly think more than anything, maybe, you know, that of all the things that you're saying, and as far as these companies, the people that maybe feel that they've they haven't been, the promises that were promised weren't delivered on. I think more than anything, what they're looking for maybe from you is to go, you know what? I'm sorry. I was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that always...
And I have apologized to them. That's what I was saying. I've been apologizing. I've messaged
Right, but you can at least acknowledge it right here, right now that, you know what, guys, maybe we made some bad business decisions. This didn't work out the way...
As the founding body... Yes, or go ahead. As the founding body of the CCSL, I take full responsibility for everything that happened this season, whether they were my comps, whether they were ones I was at, whether comps were one wrong. I'm sorry we couldn't do everything we did. You know, I am sorry for that. But for some people that come forward and say they didn't get anything, it's the media exposure that came out about a month and a half ago that actually created this. And that's okay. That's the way things, it's animosity. Look, no good company in this industry has ever not had something against them. But what I'm trying to say is that we did make mistakes regarding, you know, the webpage, regarding, you know, the YouTube channel. Everybody could have access to it. The problem is everybody got so overwhelmed because of everything going on in the industry. I let go of certain things, and I kept trying to focus on getting the comps because I figured the comps is where the owners could actually sell their product to. So that's the exposure that I was trying to get them more so than anything. And gotcha. I will be honest, Purge was one of our biggest supporters with that because they busted their butts with those lists, and a lot of other companies did too. You know, we brought companies, smaller companies, you know, for what they are. Coil Butter, Savoy did huge, and they're not small. Levi from Pound Town. Levi did very well with it. He was on our feet. I guess I assumed at some point in time that everybody was making that same effort along with us. And I will take responsibility for not doing the follow-up on that. So I do apologize for that.
Gotcha.
I apologize for all of it. I just want people to see that it's not about the money. If it's about coming in this season and doing things, you know, without the money involved and just make this to what it's supposed to be. People are competing. We've only lost 8 people off of our page. 8 people out of 901. 8 people have left or been removed. So I believe we did do something right in the end. We did something right. I've never said I did everything. Now, I did go and say I own Cloud Sports. Well, it's because I own cloudsports.com. I own Cloud Sports as a trademark. You know, so it wasn't to say I own the whole league, and people should know that. So the delivery was off. But I do apologize. You know, it's sad, but if people want to go and do their own thing, then go do your own thing. Stop slamming other brands, other leagues, other groups to get further ahead. Let those leagues you don't like, just leave them and go somewhere else and do your own thing then.
Gotcha.
But you don't need to trash other people, is my thing, and that's me being straightforward. But I do appreciate your guys' time. I'm not trying to jump off.
And in all fairness to anybody who's holding, Chris did say he had a limited amount of time.
My nephew Sale.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Chris did say from the get-go he only had a limited amount of time, so we're going to let you go. But we are going to continue to take more calls.
I took the calls. I was more than willing to take the calls.
Absolutely.
Pardon?
Absolutely. You were man enough to take those calls and answer them, you know, and that's all, you know, we can offer, you know, is the opportunity.
But I believe we offered more good than bad for this industry. I believe we did as a group. We offered a lot. And I believe a lot of people had fun.
There you go. All right. And do you encourage people to reach out to you via social media and via email to maybe settle some of these things, call you?
I put my phone on the CCSL page. When I did that live, I did what nobody else ever would do. I put my phone number out there and said, call me. This is on June 10th when John Conrad backed me, Matt Kleisel backed me, Ariel Paxton backed me, AV backed me, multiple juice companies backed me. It's a June 10th. There's a live video, or June 11th, on the CCSL official page and the group page, and it was actually shared to a lot of places. If you guys want to take the chance, watch that. I did the same thing then that I'm doing today. Same exact thing. I apologized. I took responsibility. I owned it. And that's why I'm saying, why is this coming up over a month later?
I think the thing is perhaps they're wanting to encourage people not to do business with you because of the perceived fraud, or just at the very least undesirable results.
People are allowed to do that.
Right. So
Absolutely.
I understand that, and I understand both. Sir. You know, I think that's where they're coming from on that. Man.
So yeah,
it sucks. It's like, but there was no fraud. There was no, and I'll stand by that.
Okay.
I will literally stand by there was no fraud, because in each of our contracts it did state that we would do certain things, but we wanted them to, help work with us. And everybody agreed to help work each other.
Gotcha.
People were happy as long as they were making money and people were buying their products. It wasn't about the web page. It wasn't about, all the other stuff that we did, or a couple things we did try to do. Everybody was making money. Everybody was doing what they're supposed to do. They're getting their products out there because it seems like they want their money back because they didn't make enough money. Why else would you want your money back? Because your exposure is going to allow your company to thrive, allow you to get your product in people's hands, whether you're selling it to them or giving it away. Milo does give away a ton of stuff. I watch him constantly. At expos, I guarantee they get tore off every time because they keep throwing stuff out.
Yeah, TVL
I think
does
it's great.
TVL does a lot of great things. I know with the J-Max,
That's
stuff
what I'm
like
saying.
that.
I'm
They
giving
do good
compliments
stuff.
here. I'm not bashing. I'm just saying. But they will go against the grain and throw stuff out anyway.
Right. All right. Well, Chris,
it's just what they do.
All right, we're gonna let you go because
have a blessed day.
I know your clock is
Is
ticking.
there a
so-
way to get a recording of this?
I don't know. We know.
Probably. So yeah, we're gonna let you go, and
I'd like to hear some of
again,
the
if
other questions,
if anybody wants to reach out, they can go ahead and reach out directly to you if they've got your info. Right.
All right. There you go.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, go have a good day.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thanks for coming on.
Time.
All right, there you go. There goes Chris. We do have people holding, so hi, Vape Radio. Are you there?
Hey, this is Dylan from Broadside.
Hey, what's up?
A little late, but I just wanted to call in.
Yeah, sorry for those who were just maybe
hear me?
tuning in. We're having issues conferencing. Otherwise, we would have had people on with
Same
Chris, so we
time,
had to have one at a time. So
No,
Yeah, welcome, Dylan. How's it going, brother?
not a problem. Pretty good. I was just listening to everything. I really just wanted to make my input because Broadside is a company that supported the CCSL at the beginning. There was a lot of things promised, and like Chris admitted to, a lot of things weren't fulfilled. The majority of the things weren't fulfilled. Now, I'm not calling in to talk about that. I'm more calling in because of the negativity surrounding it and the feeding into it that people are doing. I just wanted to call because honestly, I think it's awesome because the comp scene is back.
Yeah.
Whereas after August 8th, it really just died off.
Yeah, it did.
Now,
It took a
people
big.
might
It took
tell
a big
me
hit.
I'm wrong or whatever. Yeah. So now with this, the comp scene is back. Now, with the rest of it, with all the little things, with the criminal history, I have criminal history. I'm like, you can look me up. It's not a big deal. But the fact is that when you get something that's, I don't know how to say it. I guess he just talked himself up so much that it created this expectation and just let a lot of people down. Now there's ways to go through this and continue to keep the comp scene going, and that's what we want because that's what I want. That drives our businesses. That's why people buy Broadside Mounts. So I'm just trying to think positively of it all because this comp scene that's out now because of the CCSL is going to be what we need to build off of and not stick with the negativity. Now, I'm not saying that I think Chris is the man for the job to run it, and I think CCSL with all the drama surrounding it is probably not going to survive because the people who are competing in all this are really the ones that are so against it and all in the drama.
Right.
So I just wanted to call in and just try and focus on the positive things because it's all been focused around such negative energy.
Right,
Gotcha.
man. And that's exactly what we're trying to facilitate here is, sometimes maybe we don't need to hash this all out on Facebook. Maybe we can have it right here in the family and sit down and have a discussion and
Right.
get to the bottom of it and find out really what the problem is and maybe what the solution is, hopefully.
Exactly, and I do want to just go ahead and state, Dylan, don't beat yourself up about your past too much. I mean,
Yeah, why are you looking at me, Pablo? God.
I'm just saying.
Why are you looking at me?
Listen. I'm just saying. Hanging out with Taylor Cage is not a crime per se.
But it can get you involved in
Right.
one.
Just saying.
No. I'm pretty sure that my past is the reason I'm here today. So
Right.
I'm
No
pretty,
problem, man.
pretty glad that all that stuff happened. And you can't really look at it like that because look at this industry. Look how many people have passed in this industry.
Absolutely.
Amen. All right, brother.
How many people in this industry have been locked up?
You're right.
I just want to call in,
You're
try
right.
and focus on the positive.
Exactly. All right, brother. Well, cool. We're going to go take a couple of more calls, but keep doing what you're doing over there, Broadside, okay, man?
All right, man.
All right, brother. All right, let's take the next call here. Hi, Vape Radio. Hello, Vape Radio. Who's this?
Hey, it's Francisco.
Hey, Francisco, what's up? What do you want to say?
I just want. I had a quick question. Well, a couple quick questions as to why the fuck so-called Chris is talking about all this honor shit. When, I mean, I'll send you guys the screenshots. This motherfucker's calling me out for stolen valor. He's calling me out for fraud, for basically shaming, well, stealing from vets. When I've got one of those groups that I'm a civilian, I run the group, yet I posted my taxes every fucking year. It's not a tax write-off like he claimed that. He's going to threaten me with getting the fucking IRS and me audited and shit. I mean, he's talking about how friendly he is. Then why is he going to attack me for not taking some of fucking Arias' fucking juice when he was getting backlash for being made in China?
So this is kind of like, don't accuse other people of wrongdoing and then get butthurt when you get accused of wrongdoing. Is that what you're kind of saying?
That's the thing. I didn't accuse him.
No, him.
No,
doing
right,
it.
no, that's
him,
what I'm
saying. Him doing it to you, right?
He came to my group and was talking shit. First he came to the group and said, hey, I just want to freaking donate some juice on behalf of somebody and this and that. I'm like, all right, cool, go ahead. Whatever juice you got, we'll welcome out. I ship little boxes full of juice, battery cases, and little shit. I charge the guys $11 to cover shipping, fucking printer ink, all that shit, because I go through so much of this shit.
Right.
But he's like, yeah, well, we want to donate so much juice, this and that. I'm like, all right, cool. Whoever donated it, let them into the group so that way they see that their shit's actually going to their whoever they're donating, because we're not a 501c. We're not a tax write-off. So, like, Vaporgate donates a shitload, and it all goes out to them, but there's no publicity. It's just between the family, between the group.
All right, well, cool. Francisco, thank you for your comments, man. And, yeah, again, for those who are questioning whether or not, they're going to get any resolution on this, Chris says, reach out to him, use his phone number, his social media, his email, whatever, and that he will address those things. But let's take our next call here. Hi, Vape Radio.
Hey, what's going on? Sean Taft, how we doing?
Hey, Sean, how are you?
Buddy?
Oh, everything is well. What's up, Rod? What's going on?
All right.
All right. As a wise man once said, without advocacy, it's just sales. And that was something that CCSL brought to different companies. Because you can probably admit that.
Yeah.
Okay. And nothing wrong with selling products.
Yeah.
No. And having people all under one roof, preaching unity and that sort of thing, all good and well. I'm all for that. Don't get me wrong. Sorry, I'm cutting the grass. I'm a little out of breath.
I understand.
But when you want to use a smoke screen with the word advocacy, okay, when you want to use the word smoke screen, the word advocacy as a smoke screen to kind of, you may be passionate about the industry as everybody is, but without advocacy, I say this again, it's just sales. Mm-hmm. Now, I have proposed on many, many different levels to possibly extend my resources on the advocate level, okay? I got in contact with a very well-known advocate in our industry. I could mention his name. I'm not going to. And he says, you know something? Who is this kid? He's like, Sean, you got to, let him utilize his resources and do something with the league. Don't get involved. I took his advice.
Yeah.
I said, you know something? If you're going to make money off the league, do something for advocacy.
Right.
Make it mandatory that monetary donations get donated. Make it mandatory. And it fell on deaf ears. All right? So when you go to an event, mark my words, it was more of a smokescreen.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of a smokescreen more than anything. That's the only thing that I will say. So if you want to throw that out there, be about it. Be about it. Yeah. As a consumer advocate, I don't get paid for the shit. But is it worth it to me? Do I get a sense of pride in my reputation?
Absolutely. Right. I mean,
I
go around and I speak advocacy and do all the advocacy shows. I don't get paid to come in by the conventions. They don't pay me to come in and do that. I mean, in fact, I usually fly in on my own nickel, in fact, and it's so no, absolutely.
All we get is butt touches from Fake Ramsey.
Which is nice.
It's nice. It's nice. All right. Sean, thank you so much for your call, brother.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I appreciate it.
All
Have
right.
a good day.
All right, buddy. Have fun cutting that grass. I know that sucks. It's got to be hot out there. I have Vape Radio. Who's this?
This is Matt Kleizo.
Hey, Matt from Purge. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up?
Well, all right. So what do you weigh in on with all this?
Purge has been thrown out there a time or two in the discussion today, so let's hear it from the man himself.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. I'm sorry I didn't catch all of the conversation. I actually had Senator Randy Bracey in my office for the last hour.
Good stuff.
Nice advocacy
I
work.
apologize, guys.
No.
I do a lot of stuff. Senator Randy Bracey is a really good friend of mine. He's out of the district here in Orange County, and we're working on stuff in Tallahassee and something to do with with Washington D.C. here in the next upcoming 6 months. So
excellent.
I'm working on that. So one of the things, a little bit that I heard on there was, Chris DeGiulio. One of the things I don't like it when people put people's past out there. I think that's
I totally agree.
That's not acceptable.
We've all got one.
Because people have a past. Everybody's got a past. So I don't agree with that. One of the things I do agree with that a lot of people say that I've heard very short time that I was on there is that Chris DeGiulio is not the guy for the job. I was a publisher for 10 years. I owned different magazines. I ran a marketing company, and on the part where he really failed at as a company is the marketing end. Right. Some of the things that I heard him say was, the guys didn't make money because they didn't do the work. Well, part of the reason why the guys didn't make money because they didn't do the work is because there was no links put up. There was no nothing on his behalf. Even on his Facebook page, he still doesn't have any kind of marketing or links for the people who actually sponsored it. Including myself. Now I'm probably one of the only guys that got any money back out of the CCSL. I won the manufacturers division. That's because my team, we devised a very strategic plan on comps, and we secured the winning. Actually, out of the top 20, we had 17 of the top 20 people were purge mods in the points, and so we won the manufacturers division. Now, with that being said, I was supposed to get $4,000. I only got $3,000, so he still owes me $1,000. So that's where I'm at. So with CCL on as a whole, I think that is a wonderful idea. I said, when I first talked to John Conrad about it, I was in disagreement with it. I just didn't think that that I wanted to get involved because of how much work that I do. I have a huge European company, and I have, of course, my USA stuff that I do, and it's very hard for me to get involved, like on a hands-on basis with everything that I got going on. But as a concept, it's a great concept. I just don't think that Chris DeGiulio is the guy that needs to run it. I think it needs to be done by somebody that has more business savvy than Chris DeGiulio. And I think if it was done in that proper manner, I think that it would be very beneficial for our company, for everybody's company involved, if it was done the right way. The marketing end, everything that needs to be done, the T-shirts. I mean, he was supposed to have T-shirts out. He didn't get T-shirts out till I've never got a T-shirt. He said he had them. We never got them. But with that being said, we did, Purge Mods did, take advantage of CCSL, and we did it the right way because I come from a marketing background, and I used, that platform.
Your marketing skills,
market our
right?
mods.
Right.
Absolutely, but that's my marketing skills and my platform and what I did because
that you already had
of all the stuff that I've, yeah, we already have that in place. We have websites, we have social media, we have teams, we have, my sales reps, my internal sales reps, and we have all those guys, and we took advantage of everything, so,
And that seems to be kind of an overarching theme with this whole debacle is that, regardless of, what people, perceive, or may read into things, that it was just flat out not run properly. Just inexperience and whatever else may be below the surface of that. It was at the very least inexperience.
Right. It was inexperience. So you can't fault somebody, and listen, I don't have I know DeGiulio, Khristopher Dorn. I've gone on, fishing trips with the guy, and, I know him. I don't have anything bad to say about him personally, and I'm not going to bash him because that's not what I do. I don't bash anybody's company. When you're in business, it just makes you look cheap, and that's one thing that I strongly tell anybody that's on my team never to bash anybody. Right. Now, with that being said, there are a lot of people that I've talked to that are highly disappointed in it. When I owned my magazines that I had, I had a magazine in Florida, I had a magazine in the Midwest, and one of the things I had to prove in my marketing was, how many eyeballs actually saw this. When you put the marketing dollar, hey, listen, this is cost per eyeball. Cost per eyeball, you're going to see how many people are going to see this.
Right.
And so where he failed at is he failed on the marketing end of how well he was going to get their name out by this platform that he's put in place. And the winnings that was going to take place. So what it appears like, and it appears like to everybody in the industry, is that Khristopher Dorn actually got all the money that everybody put in. And there was a pretty substantial amount of money that I know that I put in, and there's substantial money that a lot of other companies put in. And I'm not going to speak for any other company. I know what I put in. Right. But that he got. And, from what we saw, he lived on that money. That's what the appearance looks like. He lived on that money. He took that money. He spent it. That's what he used to go out. That's what he used to party with. That's what he used to go out. And he didn't fulfill anything that he said he was going to do. And that's where everybody has a real problem with it. So, in my opinion, if he stays at the head of CCSL, that will not go any further than this year. I just don't think, and I think he made a comment. He has 900-something people on his Facebook page, and the only reason we're on the Facebook page, the people are still on the Facebook page because they're wanting to see what happens next. Right. I don't think that they're there because they want to support CCSL anymore. I'm being honest with you, and I'm on the fence right now going, hey, he still owes me money. I'm not going to give him any more money for CCSL next year at all, or have my team be involved. And a lot of my guys on team, he personally attacked. They put up, they sent, he sent the messages, and they actually put the messages up on Facebook, which is not the right place to do anything on social media. It just causes a lot of drama that I don't want to be involved in. I don't have time for it.
Too old for it.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to be 47 in 3 weeks.
I'll be 48 in about 3 weeks.
So
exactly. I'm like, I don't have time for all that.
I got 3 boys, and yeah, man, and I have vape shops that I have in the UK. I have distribution in the UK. I have businesses in every country. And I don't have time to deal with social media BS. That comes out of the vape industry, and I'm not supporting, anything that Khristopher DeGiulio has done because he's done everything the wrong way instead of doing it the right way. And I honestly think that if anybody wants their money back from last season, he needs to give them their money back. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Because he didn't fulfill anything that he said he was going to do on the marketing end. And I can tell you right now, if you owned a business like the Vape Radio, right? And you said, hey, listen, you're going to advertise on my radio, and I'm going to hit this many people, and here's all my stats. Here's how many people log on. Those are some of the things that you offer the people that advertise on your radio. Am I correct?
Right, absolutely.
So, when somebody advertises on your radio, they're advertising on radio because they want to get a return on their investment.
Right.
And
brand their product.
If they don't get a return.
By the way, they're really good right now.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
So when you have this type of business that he's in is more of an advertised based run business, because that's really what he's in.
Right.
He has to really learn how to budget his money, and I really don't think that he budgeted anything or did anything correctly, and it's really going to hurt him going forth. And if he were to remain as the head of CCSL, it's not going to go anywhere. And anybody that put any money into that company I don't even think it's a company. I haven't seen anything on it. I don't know.
Right.
If anybody put any money to that this upcoming year, I think that you're going to end up losing it. And because he still hasn't done anything that he's supposed to have done.
Yeah.
Now, once again, I definitely got $3,000 back out of the $4,000 that I put in.
So
I
you're
was
still
supposed
owed
to get
$1,000.
$4,000. So he's still He still owes me $1,000.
And by the way, I mentioned that earlier. That did
at
not
least
come from Matt, by the way, just so everyone listening understands. He did not feed me that information. I actually heard that from someone else. So I mentioned that earlier, that they still owed you $1,000, but this is the first time you and I have ever even spoken about that at all. So just to make sure we're clear on that for anyone listening.
Yeah. You know, and I told Chris, I said, hey, you still owe me $1,000. He goes, oh, let me check with my accountants, and that's the last I've ever heard from him. So I haven't got my $1,000, and he knows he owes me $1,000. So, you know, for me, it's kind of like this. You know, one, I'm not gonna go into a lawsuit with a guy. I try and stay out of litigation as much as possible. I've been through many litigations in my life.
Sure. It'll cost you $5,000 to get $1,000 back.
You're going to step over a dime to save a penny. It's not worth my time. It's more of, hey, I'm going to move in another direction. And
Lesson learned.
Something. Or I might even start my own league, to be honest with you. I've been getting a lot of pressure from a lot of the heads in the, industry to start my own league.
And I commend you, Matt, because that is a great attitude to have. It really is. Yeah. You know, that is a very mature, intelligent way to handle these things. Right. Yeah, it's a lesson learned, and yeah, we got bit on that, and we won't do it again. Yeah. But I credit you for not attacking per se. You're not happy, but you're like, I can handle this. So props to you.
You'll never see. You could never produce one thing on social media or anything from me bashing anybody. I dare anybody to put anything out there, screenshot anything. You'll never see Matt Kleiso bashing anybody, because I don't.
I will say
I'm not bashing Chris DeGiulio.
Yeah, I will say this does explain why you haven't taken my Farmville request. But, okay.
The what?
Farmville. It's Farmville.
Got to throw a joke in once in a while. We're getting awfully happy today.
Do they even play Farmville anymore? Right. He's showing his age now,
Farmville?
Matt.
One of those stupid Facebook games.
You know what? My kid would probably know much better than I would.
Right. Well, cool. No, I think that's a great way to respond to this.
Yeah, man. I don't have anything bad to say about Chris DeGiulio. I just think that that he didn't execute it properly, and he's catching the brunt of it. And in my opinion, if somebody's asking for their money back because he didn't follow through, he needs to give them their money back.
Yeah.
And that's just really, it's not, hey, let me come up, you need to come up with a logical answer why you need your money back. Well, there's many reasons why you want your money back, because you didn't do anything that you said you were going to do.
Right.
Other than
and people are probably going to continue calling your ass out until you do pay them back. I mean,
right.
That's probably what's going to.
Right. There is a big difference between, I said, between a business saying, we hope to achieve this, and then there's a difference between saying we're going to achieve this.
Right.
If you tell people you're going to get this, and this, and you don't deliver those things, then you got to give them their money back. If you say we're going to do this, and this, and you do those things, and you might also get these other things, okay, then you can't be held responsible for that. But because again, that's one thing we've heard people say about going to shows. Is we went to the show and we didn't get anything. Well, some of that might not be on the show, because there'd be a lot of people there.
Depends on your
and
product,
maybe part of
your
it's
people.
you
Right.
didn't do your thing.
Right.
And I get that part. But if you have on paper if you have put on paper that you are going to receive this, and this for this many dollars, and you don't get those things, then you deserve to get your money back.
I 100% agree. I can tell you this, that if a shop does a CCSL event, my shops, I own Fast Eddie's Vape Shop and Lounge. I own Fast Eddie's Vape Distribution in the U.S. I own Fast Eddie's Vape Shop and Distribution Limited over in the U.K. And if I do an event at my shops here in the U.S., I have a minimum of 250 people that show up to each one of my events.
Yeah.
So if I hold an event at my shop and it's a CCSL event, I've made my money back tenfold. Yeah. And I'm telling you that. I don't pay for the CCSL. It's just my events, I go all out. I have beer and wine and my stuff, so it's a really good time when they come out.
There you go.
Note to self, go to the next event.
Marketing, yeah. And on top of the marketing dollars, like let's say, for example, a lot of the guys that sponsored the events, Broadside, great company, a lot of the companies, even myself, if you saw a logo, my Purge Mod logo on anybody's flyer, guess who donated a mod? over 80 mods last year I donated. My mods sell for anywhere from $200 to $300 a piece.
Right.
80 mods. I counted up because I keep very good track of what I donate because I get to write that off.
Right.
You know, I have a CFO that's a CFO in my business. I have a comptroller. I have a CPA, and I have a bookkeeper that works in-house in my company. Right. So they keep very good track of everything that comes in, goes out of my company.
Right.
So it's not, I'm the CEO of my company in both ends. So I know what marketing dollars I send out. I have a budget for it. I have a budget for everything. So, I donate those mods, one, because it gets my name out there, helps with prizes. I even put up cash. And I even donate mods for advocacy because I'm big on that. I'm working with Senator Randy Bracey, who was just in my office literally while I was listening to your event. He's sitting there in my office. And I had to turn it off because I didn't want him to hear anything.
Well, first of all, we'd like to thank the senator for listening, for whatever little bit he heard. Thanks for tuning in.
I said, man, you got to get on this radio thing with these guys. I think we might be able to get him on there.
We would love that.
We would love that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Always open.
Well, cool, man.
Yeah, he said, so.
Yeah, dude, and to me, that's more important than what we're dealing with right now.
Right. That's why we wanted to clear this air, get this situated, and get it off social media.
By God, if there's one thing worth turning Vape Radio off for, it's to go deal with your senators and do some advocacy work. By God, yes. So, go do your thing, man, and thank you for chiming in on all this.
Big on that.
Yeah, thank you for chiming in and giving us your perspective.
I hope I wasn't too long-winded.
No.
I just want you guys to know that I'm not bashing Chris DeGiulio as a person. I think business-wise, I think it's a phenomenal idea, and it's something that I'm actually looking at myself to
just might have been over his head
and do something. I think he just got over his head, and it just went too fast. And right now he's getting the brunt of it, and that's kind of his thing to handle.
Yeah.
And
cross to bear.
I think we did really good at. That's it, man.
Yeah.
So. With everything being said, man, it's I wanted to come in here and just say hi and let everybody know that the vaping industry is strong. It's not going anywhere in the U.S. It's definitely not going anywhere around the world. So this is something that we need to keep pushing, and I think that the some type of competition for the shops. In the retail brick and mortars is super important for our industry, and for everybody involved.
All right, brother. Well, again, we love you. Keep doing what you do, and hey, maybe you come with your own thing. So, all right, go have a good day, man.
We'll see. Okay, buddy.
Matt from Purge, mods, everybody.
All right, Matt. Thanks for tuning in and calling in. Again, we're talking about the whole Chris CSSL. Am I saying that right? CCSL debacle drama.
I don't remember. It obviously wasn't a very good marketing job.
We're going to take a break real quick on Vape Radio. Come back. We got a few people holding. If you're holding, we're coming to you.
We got to pay our sponsors before they get mad at us.
Exactly.
Warning: this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
With the overwhelming abundance of e-liquid choices available, it's helpful to have an expert to keep you informed. Here to tell you about this week's top 5 trending e-liquids is Tina from eliquid.com.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Hello everyone, I'm Tina from eliquid.com, and here are the top 5 trending flavors this week. We'll begin with number 5, which is Oak by Double Barrel Tobacco Reserve. Differing from many other tobacco flavors, this adds a creamy twist to a classic taste, with undertones of caramel, vanilla, and hazelnut. Heading over to number 4, we have Watermelon Madness by Melon Twist e-liquids. Watermelon Madness is a flavor that's perfect for the summertime. Even if you're not a huge fan of watermelon, this sweet and refreshing flavor is sure to please your taste buds. Dare we say you'll go mad over it? Coming in at 3rd, we actually have a hardware item for you all. The Aspire Cleto 120 coils are the replacement coils for the Aspire Cleto 120 tank. They utilize Aspire's new MaxiWatt coil, and much like the original Cleto tank, the MaxiWatt coil design replaces the static chimney, which increases your airflow. Looking ahead to number 2, we have Dawn E-Liquid by Gold Leaf Drip. If you're looking for a heavy, musky flavor, look no further. This combines the taste of aged bourbon cream, light on the bourbon, heavy on the cream, with notes of chocolate, coffee, and pecans, making this a well-developed, full, and mature flavor. And finally, rounding off at number 1, our top flavor for this week is Fruity Cereal by You Got E-Juice. Take yourself back to the days of eating Fruity Pebbles by the television. Now, remove that pesky milk out of the equation and you're left with a flavorful, fruity burst. And that's our list for this week. Don't forget to check out eliquid.com, home to over 2,200 brands, hardware items, DIY supplies, and more. And just for being so amazing, I'm going to go ahead and throw out a code for you all to get 15% off any of our e-liquid. Use the code VAPETUNES15 at checkout to get 15% off your order, or go to eliquid.com/top5 to view the code there. Terms and conditions apply. See our site for details. I'm Tina with eliquid.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great day and keep on vaping. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
To see the list of top 5 trending e-liquids, as well as browse through the world's largest selection of e-liquid, hardware, replacement coils, and DIY supplies, be sure to visit eliquid.com. That's eliquid.com.
Get ready for Vape Showcase Charlotte, America's most exclusive vape convention,
September 15th and 16th.
at the Park Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors from around the world. One lucky shop owner will win $50,000 in product from Vapor Stockroom.
One lucky attendee will win a 2018 Dodge Charger.
The People's Choice Awards with Vaping Magazine, special advocacy presentations, and so much more. Vape Showcase Charlotte,
September 15th and 16th.
at the Park Expo Center, presented by Giant Vape, Cosmic Fog, and Craving Vapor. Vape Showcase Charlotte.
Mach 1, speed of sound.
The Mach 1 is a dual battery squonk box from the United Society of Vape. It has a huge 8mm squonk bottle.
8mm squonk bottle.
And with its VO Tech 240-watt chipset, it fires smooth and ramps up fast. It comes with the Mach 2 RDA, and it's super deep well even the heaviest squonkers won't be able to flood. With a customizable color display and sharp design, you won't need another squonk box in your collection.
The Mach 1.
Check it out today at usvofficial.com. That's usvofficial.com.
Bouncing Betty is conducting airdrops with her amazing 120 ml juice bomb. Enlist today and get bomb with one of Bouncing Betty's 5 unique flavors: tropical fruit, slushy, candy, sour, and ice.
Yes, sir.
Sign up and serve today at BouncingBetty.com.
Yes, sir.
Enlistment bonus this month includes discounts and free shipping. Hoorah. BouncingBetty.com now. Drop and give me a 120.
Yes, sir.
CrispyCaps.com has a new website introducing the Extra Crispy line. All in-house made acrylics that can't be found anywhere else. The best premium American-made drip tips starting at $7.99 with a lifetime guarantee. Get crispy, stay crispy. CrispyCaps.com.
Use promo code Vape Radio for a special offer.
All right, we are back on Vape Radio. Pablo and the Rodman.
Yeah.
Talking about all the vape drama. And I must say, you know, as we go back to the phones, if you want to comment, 888-VAPE-FAM. That's 888-VAPE-FAM. Or you can post a comment in our Vape Radio Backstage group. You know, throw us a message, shoot us an email. You know, send up a big cloud signal spelling out letters in the sky. I don't know. I will say...
They said bring the posse. I totally misread that.
Yeah, posse.
Yeah, posse.
I will say I am, you know, I'm glad to have all the phone interaction, all the people calling, making comments. I am still waiting for our first Baba Booey, for somebody to just call in and zing our ass. But, you know, if anybody would, it might be this guy commenting on what's going on. Our pal, Sherwin Mena, on the phone. How are you?
Good, guys. How you guys doing?
Doing good. You're not calling to Baba Booey us?
No, man. Just, you know, as long as you guys are keeping out of your mouth, that's all that matters.
What's going on in North Carolina, my friend?
Not much, man. I just had a call and I had a comment about, you know, the situation. You know, it's, from my point of view, you guys know what I do. So to go ahead and address something like this is kind of irritating, considering all the battles that we're having on state and federal issues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's frustrating. But, you know, the fact is that there were a lot of people in this industry that were affected by the situation, not only manufacturers, but consumers as well.
Yeah, right.
That felt that they were not getting what they were promised. And I think what it really boils down to is, and I've said this I've said this many, many times, this industry still needs to grow up. This industry still needs to understand that everything that you do transaction-wise has to be done professionally. This is a business.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to approach it the right way. You need to have contracts in place. You need to stand by those contracts. I don't know if there were contracts in place. I know that there were, I think you called them endorsement schedules, I think they were called. Or, they weren't called endorsement schedules. They were called,
something like that.
Shit, I forgot what it's called. But endorsement packages. There were endorsement packages.
Right.
And the fact is that if you go ahead and I'm sure that when you folks sign up a client for Vape Radio, you've got a contract.
Sure.
It shows what your obligations are on your end as far as, the cost per thousand and the reach that you need to go ahead and provide to your clients. And it also tells the clients their responsibilities as well.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is that we didn't have this here. And, the fact that, this individual wants to come on and clear the air. Obviously, there was some air that needed to be cleaned because you don't go ahead and do that if you're running an operation that is being operated correctly and professionally. So I think the one thing that that the industry needs to take out of this is that when you approach this in any matter, it needs to be done professionally.
Right.
Legion went ahead and we knew about this individual before, and I don't care what people say. I think that your history does tell a little bit about you, and we told people to stay away. But here that's neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact of the matter is that when you get to this point, it's too late. It's too little. It's too late.
Yeah.
And you just try to go ahead and either move forward, try to repair the damages, get some compensation for things that weren't happening. But either way, I think this issue is dead. I think it needs to move on.
Yep.
I think CCSL is a moot entity at this point. And I think someone else needs to go ahead and carry the weight for this particular niche in this industry.
Right.
There you go.
I
couldn't disagree with that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Not at all.
that sounds like it's probably the path forward.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it. You're
All
absolutely right.
Well, cool. Sherwin, thank you so much for calling in, buddy.
All right, bud. You got it.
All right, man. Have a good day. And let's go over here. I believe Brian is on the phone. Brian?
Hey, good afternoon, guys.
Hey, man. What do you say to all this?
What do I say? First off is hello to all the Vape family out there. Johnny Copper crew is alive and well. Support all the love and everyone out there that's doing the right thing in this industry. So let's keep moving forward in the right direction first off.
Mm-hmm.
Rod, I look forward to hanging out with you soon.
Yeah.
Hope to see you in Virginia.
Bring Bell money.
For sure. Let's do it.
Oh, what? You're just hanging with Rod? Thanks, Brian. God.
I mean, if you want to get on that level, Pablo, just give me a DM and we'll chit chat, all right?
No, you're right. I'm scared of your level.
When it comes down to like the whole CCSL thing, I was approached. I have a very approachable personality in regards to being out there with representing causes that are good for the industry. So first things first, I've come up with an analogy. I feel like I got Music Man. I was in the play or something. I feel like that's what we all got done.
Right.
I don't know if anyone,
I totally get the analogy. Absolutely.
How is
trouble,
it? How
trouble
is it
right here in River City. Capital P in that stand.
How the hell is it that you two are making musical references on this show?
Right?
What?
Hey, we're seasoned.
It's crazy. I just feel like that's what happened. Like we all
toured together off
We're
Broadway.
going to have this great parade,
Right.
right? And we're going to have this great play, and it just never happened. I don't get it. It just and I love what he just said right there before, the professionalism. I'm going to speak on not exact instances, but you cannot have business meetings inebriated.
No,
that's true.
I've learned that the hard way. You're right.
Yes.
All right. So first things first, when we're out of the convention, that's one thing. But inside, that's another.
Right.
That's the face that you're representing. So myself personally, even hanging out afterwards, I don't deal with extracurricular activities because I still want to have a good night, right? I've been done, did that.
Right.
So from a professional standpoint, it wasn't. And you can't grow as a company if you don't remember the conversation 5 hours previous.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So with a lot of things that he has said, more than likely, he doesn't remember, so I can't blame him, okay? So a lot of the conversations that I have been present with, I was coherent because I do not partake, but I know for a fact he does not remember. But those were contractual, right? His verbal contracts that he's binding by now.
Right.
Okay.
That's what's going off of. So I do get that side of it all, and that's where a lot of it is coming into play because people do remember conversations, and then if the other side doesn't, that conversation never happened, right?
Yeah.
So
right.
Another thing is I put a lot of time, effort, and our company's name, Johnny Copper, to be a part of it. We have paid in $1,500. We have required and asked to get $500 back from what we have paid in for this season 2 or 3. I can't recall what he's considering it. So within the last 2 days, and actually when Chris was on the radio with you guys, we were supposed to be getting paperwork back in regards to our money, but it has been about 72 hours and we have not received anything. So these are just facts of what are going on. So Chris does communicate back with companies if you do reach out to him via text, and but I have not seen anything yet. So I'm not going to say anything bad or anything of that sort. That's just where we're at as a company.
Right.
Gotcha.
We're in the green, so we love the fact that CCSL did what they did. They, like Matt said perfectly, great concept, crappily run.
Right.
Just
There you go.
Not the right people, too quick, too fast. He just started eating his own words. You can't keep up with yourself. It hurt more than it's gained at this point because of a lot of the bangers that were out there in this community. They're pissed off, and that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the faces that are out there that have made a face for themselves, and a lot of kids that go to these shops and say, man, I see this guy online. Well, that guy's not posting online anymore. You know, that's not what we're looking for. I mean, we are looking for everyone out there to understand that this is a hobbyist side of it all, but we're all here because we used to be smokers, and now we have a community where you can hang out.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah.
All right.
You're right.
I'm with any competition cloud sports. I want to announce it. Anyone that wants to run something, be in contact with us. We are a company that always is behind a good cause. We support advocacy more than anybody. Not really anybody, but as a company here in Jacksonville, every one of our events raises money for advocacy. Any holiday that we're open, we do advocacy raffles and giveaway bags. We're actually going to go live soon with how much we raised with the 4th of July and show what we promote out to Florida Smoke Free.
There you go.
Those guys over there.
So, nice.
Like that.
Love the Florida Smoke Free Association.
Air out today.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Florida Smoke Free all day.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just want to thank you guys for letting us air out all this stuff today and bringing it to light. This is what it's all about. We love you guys, and come on down to Florida and come hang out. We got a new shop opening in 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Hey, don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah.
Hang out. Come on, brother. We got a great place to do a radio show.
Awesome.
I'll tell you that.
All right, Brian. Cool, well, have a good day, man. And your invoice will be for Vape Radio will be coming in the email soon.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you, man.
Just kidding. All right.
We play everything, we vape everything, and we talk about everything.
Woo. It's been a hell of a morning, hasn't it?
Yeah, but hopefully we've got this at least cleared out that we all know not to do business with C.